Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let's talk facts. Still got quite a few topics that we did not cover this morning. I would like to cover those topics first, I believe, and then we're going to get into this part of the show. We're going to get into our new session, but I left a couple of things in the overreaction section that I kind of want to get your thoughts on. I left a couple of things in here, I believe. And I think one of the things that I wanted to bring back up was, do y'all not agree? Dak Prescott needs to get off the sidelines. Dak Prescott needs to get off of the sidelines. I understand what Dak is doing, but I also was worried because exactly what happened, or what I thought could happen, almost happened yesterday. If Dak Prescott is on the sidelines and he's right there beside the coaches, the players, whatever, people do not understand how dangerous it is to be on football sidelines. I don't care if you're talking about high school, college, or the pros. Man, if you're not paying attention, you will literally get ran over on the sideline. And I can remember a Green Bay game once during those Dallas Cowboy championship years. And I mean, boy, Darren Woodson ran into a guy on the sideline, messed him up. He wasn't a player. He was on the sideline, though, and, man, Darren Woodson messed him up. I mean, he didn't do it intentionally, of course. But, man, he messed him up. And so Dak Prescott standing over there on the sideline, not only that, but it also adds to a lot of these conspiracy theories. With so many people thinking that the season is fixed and all kinds of crazy things going on, well, they see Dak Prescott standing up on the sideline, and we kind of debunked that this morning, looking on Google, and they basically said that a torn hamstring, a partially torn off the bone hamstring, you can still stand up. You can still stand up. You can still walk, all of those different things. So people were saying that, oh, there's no way he could be standing up. Yes, he could still be standing up walking. There's a difference in walking and playing. And there's also a difference in, I see danger, let me move around a little bit. Let me move around a little bit. And so, you know, I think that Dak Prescott, I think the leg is hurt at this point. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't see why Dak Prescott would really want to get out of this season. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys schedule in reality, I want y'all to imagine this. Imagine if this defense plays like they played yesterday. Dak Prescott's the quarterback, and they actually run the football with Rico Dowdle. The Dallas Cowboys, I promise you, they win the Falcons game. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott could have actually ate on that offense yesterday because Mike McCarthy said something when he was talking about how disappointed he was. And he was talking about, in particular, and he didn't want to say the name, Mike McCarthy was absolutely disappointed in Cooper Rush. Mike McCarthy slipped it in real quick. He said the throws were there. No, he said, we had some shots. We missed them. Really? You talking about the fact that Cooper Rush didn't seem like he could throw farther than 10 yards? The game plan, he said, now I'm realizing, even in the Falcon game, Mike McCarthy's plan with the quote-unquote antiquated West Coast, not the Texas Coast from 2023, the West Coast antiquated offense, which is an extension of your run game, really. It's a lot of short passes. Maybe your wide receiver can break a tackle or two. And then you open, they can open up the game. I mean, you just go back and look at a lot of the San Francisco 49ers stuff from the 90s. I mean, Joe Montana was killing people with Jerry Rice and short passes. Roger Craig and short passes. I mean, they were killing people. So he said the plan was 15-play drives. So now I see the plan against the Falcons was also 15-play drives. That's why they were throwing all those short passes. And Dak was way more effective, of course, than Cooper Rush because he's way better than Cooper Rush. But in that Philadelphia Eagle game, Tony Romo, go back and look at the tape. Tony Romo said it. Tony Romo said the way you attack this defense is in the middle. It is. They were very aggressive. Did y'all notice how close they kept the linebackers to the line of scrimmage? It's like they were always sending somebody after Cooper Rush. If they thought it was a pass, they weren't letting Cooper Rush sit still. They were always sending somebody. Well, it's amazing how Mike McCarthy said that Cooper Rush has a quick release. He should have been eating it he should have been eating with those wide receivers up the middle. Tony Romo showed it. It was there. And that's what Mike McCarthy was talking about. The shots were there. We didn't take them. And the ones that we did take, he couldn't get it down the field. What's going on, Jared? Yes, Mike McCarthy is awful. I want to bring this point up. I said Dak needs to get out the sideline. Do y'all agree? Get out the sideline, Dak. It makes no sense to be on the sideline. But number two, and then we're going to get into our new session. What do y'all think about the curtains? What do y'all think about the curtain situation? Cooper Rush throws a pass to CeeDee Lamb. Debatable to me, whether or not CeeDee Lamb was actually going to catch that pass. Because even Tony Romo said the ball was behind. It was behind CeeDee Lamb, even when he threw it. So you got to think about this. If CeeDee Lamb sees that pass, and he said he didn't see it because of the sun, he's like he lost it. But that pass was not so far in front of CeeDee Lamb to where even though CeeDee Lamb didn't see it, if that pass is thrown where it's supposed to be, that pass is going to hit CeeDee Lamb regardless. It's going to hit him, even if he doesn't catch it. That's what people don't realize. That pass was still behind CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb would have had to stop to catch that pass. And I don't know if he still catches that pass. But my question is, do you think Jerry Jones should shut the curtains? Do you think Jerry Jones should shut the curtains? Because Jerry Jones is very hard-headed about these curtains for the football games. And I find it to be strange that Jerry Jones is so bullheaded about these curtains for the football games. And for all of the events they do, guess what they do? They shut the curtains. Any concert, they shut the curtains. Any event, they shut the curtains. It's strange because they don't want the sun coming through. And Jerry said something that doesn't make sense to me. One, Jerry is mad. Jerry says, we know where the sun is. I understand what Jerry is saying. I want to address both of these. Jerry is saying that they know where the sun is, and he's mad. Oh, we know where the sun is. We know where the moon is. And when CeeDee Lamb was asked about the curtains, CeeDee Lamb said, I absolutely don't like it, and they need to shut the curtains. So none of this is sitting right with Jerry Jones because Jerry Jones said that the curtains, the sun coming through, is a natural element. And football is all about the natural elements. Well, I consider the rain to be a natural element. I consider snow to be natural elements. I believe the sunlight is natural elements. But I'm going to tell you something about football stadiums in case some of y'all didn't know this. And let me see where y'all are with this stuff in the curtains and all of this, all of the curtains and the stadium and all this stuff. What's going on, Danny Dodger? What's going on, Lord? I want to see kind of where y'all are. What's up, LaQueen? Danny says, Jared Thomas, you just noticed it's been starting from the start when he got fired in Green Bay. No kidding, it's nothing new. And that's why when people start talking about, well, it's Jerry Jones. No, Danny, I've shown it already, 3 times? If you read the ESPN article from when Mike McCarthy got fired, it reads just like Mike McCarthy's year this year. For some reason, Mike McCarthy gets to a certain point in his career. He's inept at play calling. He doesn't understand situational football. His plays become predictable, and his quarterback gets frustrated by his play calling because it's so convoluted and he refuses to run the ball. All sounds like what Dak Prescott experienced with him this year. Last year, if you think about what happened, people criticized Mike McCarthy so bad, he went and started copying people's playbooks. After the bye week, he started doing a lot of things that some of these younger coaches were doing, and it helped. But for whatever reason this year, what up, Jermaine? He didn't go back to the Texas coast. We heard him in the press conference. He's doing the antiquated West Coast. Why? It doesn't make sense. Good afternoon, Janie. It doesn't make sense. And so now it's like he's gotten stubborn in his play calling. But I digress. You think about the curtain thing. The curtain thing doesn't make sense as it applies to what Jerry is saying. And let me tell you why. I heard this morning and I thought it was pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know anything about building stadiums and architecture. But I heard somebody say this morning is, Jerry says, well, you know which direction the sun is coming from. So he's saying that the team should use that as a competitive advantage, y'all. Jerry is saying if we win the snap, then we always want the sun in our face in the first quarter, the sun in their face in the second quarter, sun in our face in the third quarter, sun in their face in the fourth quarter. Advantage. But there's one flaw. You don't always win the coin toss. So what happens when you don't win the coin toss with the curtains? So now your opponent says, we'll defer and we'll take the sun in the first quarter. We'll take the sun in the third quarter, and we're going to use your own weapon against you because when we hit the second and fourth quarter, we'll be able to throw down the middle. You're going to be relegated to throwing nothing but sideline routes. Jerry's not thinking, y'all, and it goes to show you, and the reason why I bring this up, because this is some of the same stuff that's going on with the team. Jerry absolutely isn't thinking. And he got so mad when it was when he heard what CeeDee Lamb said. Jerry Jones said, so what? We're going to tear down the stadium now? This is Jerry Jones. But there's another little tidbit that I did not know, and y'all tell me if y'all knew this. But stadiums are actually built where the windows or whatever the case may be, however they face north and south. So that as the sun, east, west, no matter how it is in the sky, the sun is always shining sideways more than right at you. So you're not going to lose a lot of those passes in the sun. Very few, because people design them like that for that very reason. And so the problem was with Texas Stadium, they didn't design it north and south. They designed it where it's facing east and west. And that's why you get the sun always beaming straight in, depending upon which end you're facing. But Jerry Jones knew this because he put curtains up to cover it up. And someone says Jerry Jones, they went all over the world according to what I heard, they went all over the world looking at different architecture structures and looking at, the way things look, inside of the stadium. And so it is being said that Jerry likes the majestic look of the sun coming through the star. I think it's amazing. Problem is when you're playing the game and your team is missing passes because they're losing the passes in the sun. Jerry, why be so stubborn? But the reason why I bring this up, it is the epitome of Jerry Jones. He doesn't need to be the GM. What does he keep doing? Being the GM. He doesn't need to be involved in the coaching. What does he do? He keeps being involved in the coaching. He should not be involved. He should not be in the locker room after games giving pep talks or encouragement. I mean, if you want to do that once a year, Jerry, cool. But you shouldn't be doing that every game. That's crazy stuff. That's absolute crazy stuff. Jared says, without Dak out there, we also lose our rock of the entire franchise too. Yep. He's who best personifies professionalism in our franchise. And with him out now, chinks are coming through in our armor. They don't have to give Dak Prescott credit if they want to, but I am. Sports Junkie brought it up. The franchise was worth $4 billion. Dak Prescott becomes the quarterback and it's worth $11 billion now. Someone says, oh, no, that's not Dak Prescott, G. That's not Dak Prescott. Do y'all know who is making the most money off the field? Or at least was about 2 to 3 seasons in a row? Dak Prescott's endorsement deals are enormous. Folk don't even understand Dak Prescott will never have to work again. This man has generational worth. Had he not even gotten a $60 million deal, Dak is killing it. Dak is killing it off the field, y'all. Dak Prescott is killing it off the field. Why do you think he's killing it off the field? His performance on the field, his persona on the field, his persona off the field, his character off the field. Why do you think when this lady accused Dak Prescott of what she accused him of, why do you think Dak Prescott went after her for a $100 million defamation suit? That's the kind of money he's making. That's the kind of money Dak Prescott is making. Danny, I don't know why Dak is standing on the sideline. And Jared, that's another reason why he needs to get off the sideline. I mean, at the end of the day, he's the franchise. There's nothing else we can say about it. What's up, No Cap? What's going on? If Dak plays, Cowboys are up 17-7 in the first quarter. I believe so, too. I mean, the Eagles, they were not really just killing the Cowboys. They made mistakes. They really did. They made mistakes that they couldn't overcome. Dak was laughing on the sidelines just like Parsons and Diggs. Yeah, I wonder, you wonder what's going on these sidelines. To answer Parsons, McCarthy has a ring. That's more than any Dak player can say. I'm going to go to that in just a moment. I mean, I really want to dissect what he said. I listened to it, processed it in my mind, and then I'll tell you. Jared says, I don't think Dak Prescott made anything malicious by what he did. I think he just wants to still be around the team and, if anything, provide a veteran leadership to his team still. Because that's why we're about to listen to the Micah Parsons interview. Because Micah Parsons is going to say something about Dak Prescott, and I know this is why Dak Prescott is still on the sideline. Okay, Jerry Rice and Joe Montana. Yep. Man, you could throw Jerry Rice a 5-yard pass. He gone to the crib. Charles Haley and other YouTubers like me and you said many times they are trash. They got some serious issues going on. Rush shouldn't play another snap this season. I got some breaking news for you, Jose Quavado. You are not going to like it. Even if Lance isn't the answer, what difference is it going to make? Might as well see what Lance can do with full practice as a starter. Man, I'm about to break the Cowboys fan base. I mean, did y'all see how these people reacted when when Cooper Rush hit the field last night? People may not realize it. They were booing Cooper Rush. Do y'all realize they were booing Cooper Rush? They were booing Cooper Rush in the second and the third. And I promise y'all, and I'm going to bring this up in a moment in the second session. I got a whole lot to say about that. Terry, yes, close the curtains. Close them. It's a stupid advantage to try to have. You got from off the sidelines day before Danny Dodger lose his mind. Hey, I'm telling y'all. I saw a whole YouTube video on the conspiracy of Dak Prescott. A whole video. And I don't understand it because we looked at the playoff standings. We don't realize if the Cowboys win, they were right in the thick of the playoff hunt. Why would Dak not want to be in that? What's going on, Angie? Why would Dak not want to be with that? Yeah, we're stuck with the GM. We're stuck. There's nothing we can do. It is what it is. He flipped the coin. There's a video. He said he didn't want the Cowboys. Well, hey, man, we stuck with him. How about no sun in nobody's face? Use the curtains. Cowboys get no advantage at all. So what's the point, Jerry? But, Angie, isn't this the epitome of Jerry Jones in particular this year? Jerry Jones is literally off the chain right now. Jerry off the chain, y'all. Cooper Rush needs to be replaced by Lance. I agree. But I'm about to break your heart, Jose Cuvado. It seems like the Cowboys have been affected more by the sun than their opponents. Yes. No Cap says they should have it closed and open them as a pregame ritual. Let the sun hit the star so God can watch this team play, then close it when the game starts. You know what? That's a good idea. Why not do that in the beginning of the game? Before the game, pregame warm-ups. But after that, close it. Just close it. It's bottom line. It's a great idea, No Cap. I mean, you should be a Dallas Cowboy fan. You know a few more things you could help us on some things. See, this is why I don't like Jerry. He doesn't need to be GM. He doesn't need that title. And I'm wondering again, are we watching a figurehead? Because 105.3 The Fan alluded to this. Brian Broaddus has alluded to this. And this player, oh gosh, y'all tell me the player again. Used to play for the Dallas Cowboys. He said that Stephen Jones, y'all. He said that Stephen Jones is the problem. He said Stephen Jones is the problem. And y'all going to have to forgive me. Some Spider-Man and others keep telling me this guy, and every time I try to look it up, I don't find what I'm looking for. And I actually think I found it. I just didn't know the video. I just didn't know it was 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. The guy that used to play for the Cowboys, and he said it's not Jerry, but Stephen Jones that's the problem. Y'all give me the name of this guy again, and I'll look it up and see if we can play the video on here during this session. But he used to play for the Cowboys. Someone mentioned him this morning, and I'll look him up. But I just wonder if we're looking at a figurehead because Jerry is extremely hard-headed this year. And they're all saying that Jerry is doing things by an advisory board. But the curtains. This advisory board, if they're telling him to leave the curtains open, they need to be fired. Jerry Jones doesn't want advice from anyone, not even his son. But Stephen Jones doesn't shut up either. Yeah, I wanna play you something he said today too. Jimmy Johnson done made Jerry lose his mind 30 years later. You know what? He made his own self lose his mind. He crazy. Why was Parsons laughing with Barkley after the game? Bad look, man. He's there over there playing around Debo. Slap our kicker for missing 3 kicks. That's the energy I want on my team. Man, I heard about that. That's crazy. Debo wasn't playing. Today's what's going on, man? Revelation. Today's players know that this newest NFL is all theater. Yep. And just like the owners, it's all about the super bag. And that's one of the reasons why Jerry Jones is going to sign. He's going to sign Micah Parsons. Oh, yeah. Word of Cooper fans. Yeah, they ain't talking like they were. I sent you an article about Jerry flipping the coin. He didn't want to buy the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, put it in the comments so I can go back and check it out later. It's a shame what Dak Prescott haters did to this kid, Cooper Rush. They've blown up his expectations to where he's expected to do things now that he simply can't do. I said the same thing. I felt sorry for him. They turned this man into a mythical unicorn. I'm releasing a video today, and I'm going to show y'all Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones before that game, Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones after that game. It's amazing they're singing a whole new tune. They're singing a whole new tune. Cowboy fans realize that Lance should be starting. Oh, man. Y'all about to be so disappointed. Should they get rid of Mike McCarthy and bring in Deion Sanders as the new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys? Deion has said over and over, he does not want to coach grown men like these old men. He said you can't tell him nothing. So if he do it, boy, he going to have to pay, man, he'll have to give Deion the farm. I mean, there's no salary cap for coaches. I mean, he paid Deion Sanders $21, $25 million back in the day. I mean, why not do it again? Kenny James said, I love the Cowboys, huge fan, but turn off the lights. The party's over. Then I think that was Don Meredith. He was singing that. David Irvin. Thank you, Brandon Boyce. Thank you. I'm going to pull that up just in a moment. See if I can pull it up and see what he says. David Irving. Yes. I think I saw it. Maybe the video, what threw me is the video is 5 years old. Because I tried to pull it up and I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, this looks old. I thought it was something new. Okay, yeah, you said David Irving. Okay. Hold on. All right, I'll be looking while we're doing our thing here. See something here. Hold on a second. I got a video right here. Okay. All right, so I got the video with David Irving. Appreciate you. I'm gonna bring that up here in just a moment. I want to get to the news after I read some more of your comments. I want to get to the bottom. Jerry's ritual is to keep the curtains is to keep the curtains open. Trayvon was smiling when Hurts scored a touchdown. They don't care. Man, them dudes, and I'm not saying they don't care, but I'm gonna say this last thing about Mike McCarthy, of the problem, talking about overreaction. I'm gonna show you something about Mike McCarthy that I don't know if we're not all thinking about it, and maybe we are. Y'all tell me if we're on the same wavelength. Deion ain't leaving Colorado. They're just getting going. You know what though, Jared? I'm gonna tell you what I want to see from Deion. People do not understand how talented Shedeur Sanders is. How talented he truly is. He's nowhere near as fast as his father. I mean, he ain't even fast. Shedeur Sanders, to me, he's actually more of a Dak Prescott speed runner, type of runner. He's more of a Dak Prescott speed type of runner. He's not a runner, y'all, by no stretch of the imagination. I mean, Dak Prescott was probably about as fast as Shedeur Sanders is. Shedeur Sanders throws a very good football. Velocity, his placement of the football, very impressive. He's a very accurate thrower of the football. I'm telling you, Shedeur Sanders is extremely talented. But I want you to understand this part too. There's two parts to this. He also has extreme talent around him. And my fear is if he gets to the pros and he winds up going to a team like the New York Giants, what's going to happen if they don't put the right coaching around him? Because his dad has always kept the right coaching around him. What happens if he don't get the right players around him? His dad has always kept the right players around him. I mean, just go down their depth chart. I mean, we're watching these guys on the Colorado Buffaloes. They're skilled players on offense. They have about 4 wide receivers, I promise you'll be seeing on Sundays. Next year and the year after, they're talented. They are absolutely loaded and talented. The real test for Deion Sanders to me is going to be Deion Sanders without Shedeur. Without Shiloh. I'm predicting it. I'm calling it here first. I don't know if anybody's got money on it. Shedeur Sanders, of course, is not going to be in Dallas. There's no way he sits for 4 years. He'll probably wind up in New York or the Las Vegas Raiders. I believe Shiloh Sanders will be playing safety for the Dallas Cowboys in 2025. Book it. Shiloh Sanders will be picked up by the Dallas Cowboys probably in the 5th round. Shiloh Sanders is, I think he's pretty good. He's definitely a hitter. I think he knows the game. He's been around it his whole life. I think he can play safety in this league. He's not that big. Who knows? He might convert the corner. But if he can get some size on him, I think he can play safety in the NFL. Shiloh Sanders, watch what I tell you. Jerry Jones is going to get Shiloh on his team. And if he gets in that top of that draft, I think he's going to probably get Travis Hunter. But Deion Sanders, boy, it's going to take a king's ransom to get that joke in the pros. But the only reason why I say he would go, maybe he don't want to coach in college without his son. Maybe he doesn't. Because that's going to be the real test. Because to replace Shedeur Sanders, man, I don't know. I kind of seen, I think I saw a piece of the backup quarterback, Deion Sanders better go and recruit the top quarterback in the country. Because Shedeur Sanders is really good, y'all. He really is. And so him without Shedeur, I don't know what we're looking at. Why can't the players make the decision? Okay, clue me in. I'm talking so much. Clue me in on about the players making the decision. Randy Gregory, he used to play for the Cowboys. Oh yes, I got David Irving. I got the whole thing pulled up already. Trey Lance composes before the game. He could knock it out of the stadium. I'm going to show you here in breaking news in a moment. Deion Sanders don't leave Colorado. He has made them so good. It would be a shame to disappoint and let them down. I'm just telling you, I just wonder what he's going to look like without his son. So let me give you this here, catching up. Roberto, what's going on? He would be stuck on stupid. The safety Sanders is not chopped liver either. Shiloh is going to be playing for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, he might not slip to the 5th. I mean, Shiloh is pretty good, man. He'll hit. And I think he's a pretty smart football player. He's been around football his whole life. And so I think Jerry is gearing up. I think he's going to get Shiloh. Not sure. Shedeur's off the table. The moment they signed Dak Prescott, he was off the table. I think Jerry was thinking about it, but I think someone told him no go. But Deion Sanders, the only way I think he would come to Dallas, one, Jerry's going to make him the highest paid coach in football. There's no other way to do it. You're not going to pay Deion Sanders mid-money coming up in this joint. He's going to command top football. Top pay. And you're going to have to let him pick his own coaching staff. Deion's not going to do it if you don't let him pick his own coaching staff. And Deion's not going to do it if you don't let him be involved in personnel. And if you're not going to do free agency. And if you're not going to be in the trade, you're not going to be doing trade. to get Deion Sanders here, I'm telling y'all, it's going to require Herculean effort. But for whatever reason, I say all of that to say, it is being reported that the Dallas Cowboys are gearing up for Deion Sanders and Bill Belichick. I'm going to believe it when I see it, because Jerry has got to change his ways to get those two those two coaches. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to do it. And so, hold on a second. Boss Cowboys got something on X. He's got something on X because I was very interested in this right here. Let's look at this story. You remember what I told you in the beginning? I'm wondering if on this throw right here, let me start this over. Okay, here's the throw. Now, see, I could be crazy. I could be crazy on this throw, and y'all tell me if I'm crazy. On this throw right here, it looks like to me that CeeDee Lamb is having to it's like he's having to slow down for this throw. Because to me, if that throw is actually there, that throw is still going to hit CeeDee Lamb in the body. Okay, so Rush throws it. Now look here. I still say CeeDee Lamb is going to have to slow down to get that pass. Maybe he can. Maybe he gets to sit on it. Maybe the guy's trilling him enough. But it just looks like to me, that pass, if it's really, because if it's out there, it's like that CD had beat this guy bad on this coverage, obviously. I mean, because he's way back there. Look at this. He probably has time to sit on it. Yeah, I think he has time to sit on it. What do y'all think? I think there's nobody around him, so he probably does have time to sit on that ball. If he even though it probably should be a little further outside, but I also understand why it's not further outside, because if you look, Cooper Rush is actually being rushed a little bit. So where he throws the ball, he's also about to get hit. Right there. So he has to kind of get it out there. And I think, right, see, CD probably has time to sit on it. I think he sits on it, he probably gets it. I think it probably should have been a little bit further out, because if it's further out, it hits him regardless. But CD could have sat on it. It's a touchdown. Wash away the rain, black old sun. Boy, that boy Jerry Jones is stubborn, isn't he, y'all? That boy Jerry Jones is stubborn as they come, man. Oh, Jerry Jones. Boy, you ought to stop. Boy, you cost y'all a touchdown. And I don't think they win the game. I don't think they win the game with that touchdown, but I think it helps because it allows them to play how the defense wants to play. Because, see, that ball, CD's going to have to sit on that ball the more I look at it. But if it's out a little bit further, he probably hits him in the body. Who knows? Maybe he catches it anyway. But he could have sat on it. He had beat him bad enough. He had beat him bad enough to where he could have sat on it and still caught it. Oh, man. This man, Jerry. Daytona in the house of G. What's going on, Gene? I'm telling you, it's crazy. The link I sent you about Mike Fisher talking about Lincoln Riley has connection with the Dallas Cowboys. You know, Lincoln Riley is a pretty good play caller. He really is. He's a pretty good play caller. I'm just not sure he is who you want as your head coach. Gene Ward, do you really want Deion to coach the team? I don't know about, you know what? I don't know. It's different in college. And I think it's one of the reasons why Deion want to stay in college. You can get who you want. College is recruiting. It's recruiting, and the reason why Nick Saban left college football, it's recruiting and NIL dollars. The Colorado Buffalo athletic director, or whoever's over there, who's over the whole thing, he's announced that the Colorado Buffaloes are going to have $20 million in NIL money next year. $20 million in NIL dollars. So in college football, you can have who you want, as long as you can convince them to come to your team. It's that simple. I mean, in college, it's just different. And that's why Nick Saban got out the game. A lot of people don't realize why Nick Saban got out the game. Nick Saban got out the game because it's now no longer about recruiting. Now players can get in the portal. They can get in the portal now. It's NIL dollars. It's so many different things that Nick Saban, who used to be able to come into people's living rooms and say, hey, I can get your son or daughter. I can get your son into the NFL. Oh, I know he's not going to make any money right now. But I promise you, if you let him sign with me, in about 3 years, y'all will have the house of your dreams, the car of your dreams. Y'all will be millionaires if you come and sign with Alabama. And so Alabama is dominant because Nick Saban was delivering on that promise. Nick Saban was literally getting the most talented athletes in the country, minus quarterback. In every other position, he was getting the most talented athletes in the United States. But the NIL deals leveled the playing field. It allowed to where Deion Sanders, who's already popular, now he can come into the living rooms and say, prime time, baby. He could just say that. You think about it. You got a son and you like me. My son played cornerback. If Deion Sanders came in my living room, I don't care who's offering my son in the country, I'm going to do everything I can do to make my son go and play for Deion Sanders. In college, that's what I would do, just because I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan. You know, I'm biased. I'm biased when it comes to Deion Sanders as far as that goes. But at the same time, I really don't, and so Deion, not only did he have the charisma, the name, Deion also has the NIL dollars. And not only that, I can pay you and you can get the house of your dreams now. Anybody seen how Travis Hunter living? Shedeur Sanders living? Shiloh living? Some of those other players in college living? It's different out there, man. What's going on, Nisi? It's different out there in them streets now. And when you get to the pros, it ain't the same no more. You ain't got NIL dollars now. You got the salary cap, and you got to work that thing. And if your GM ain't good at the salary cap, it's over. It's over. Jay Recruiter, Kellen Moore never wanted to leave. Yes, Roger, we talked about it this morning. The Cowboys are sitting at number 11 in the draft, and I'm giddy. I'm going to watch this entire season, and I'm going to be excited. I'm going to watch and see what these young players look like. I'm going to see what the Cowboys do. I'm going to be excited. I know what my expectations are. I'm happy. I'm not happy about what's going on, but at the same time, I want these players out there. Don't buy into this. Play as hard as you can. You never know what opportunities you're going to have coming up next year or with some other team. So I'm going to just watch this whole season. I'm just going to cheer the team on and be excited about it. CD do something in Pittsburgh when Dak threw it to him and he couldn't catch it. The wide corner. Oh, yeah. He said jump ball because CD basically in this mode now. If you don't throw it the way he wanted, then he ain't going to catch it. He ain't going to catch it. He ain't going to contest it. He ain't going to catch it. So I want to give you this last part right here, and then I want to move on to the breaking news. But I kind of took some notes this morning about the problem that I see with Jerry Jones not firing Mike McCarthy. I'm going to tell you the problem that I have with it. I got a serious problem with Jerry Jones not firing Mike McCarthy. I got a serious problem with it. I have a serious problem with it, y'all, because I think it's doing something to the team. I do. Do y'all know why Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs and others are getting the snot beat out of them at home by their rivals? And they're over there laughing and talking. I just come from an era that when you're losing, there better not be a smile on anybody's face. Because if it is, there's going to be a problem. You're talking about a divisional game. Micah Parsons, after the game, he chopping it up with Saquon Barkley. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs on the sideline. The same ones who did a top 10 quarterback list. They didn't do a top 10 defensive end list because we know Micah Parsons not making it in 2024. They didn't even do a top 20 list for Trayvon Diggs because we know he ain't making the top 20 in 2024. But we look on the sideline and we see Trayvon Diggs and Micah Parsons chopping it up. And I don't know what they're chopping it up about. I don't know what they're laughing about. But I will say this. You got to be very careful with optics. Optics are everything, man. And sometimes when things don't look right, things just don't look right. And there's just certain things that people think should be happening when you're losing. I mean, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I don't know. I just think there's a certain etiquette that you ought to have when you're losing. And my problem with this whole thing with Mike McCarthy is it's hurting the team. Y'all tell me what you think, but I think it's hurting the team. I do. And it seems don't believe in paying a coach who's not at work. How many times does NFL teams cut a player and they're still paying him? Dead cap money. Money you've pushed down the road, but you didn't want a player, so you're only willing to pay him whatever remaining of his guaranteed salary. But as far as that other money, he got to get up out of here. Why don't we have this same mentality with a coach? Who cares about his contract? We cut players all the time, don't we? Some people are saying that Mike McCarthy is going to be fired during the Thanksgiving break. I don't believe it. But my problem with having Mike McCarthy still be the coach, everybody's trying to say all the players don't give up, keep playing. How do the players be motivated to play? And your players are watching the ineptness of one Mike McCarthy. And you're telling your players that you're okay with losing. People do not understand culture. There is nothing worse than a bunch of dogs being led by a kitten. There's nothing worse. Dogs don't want to be led by a parrot. Dogs want to be led by an alpha dog. And we're letting Mike McCarthy lead this franchise. It's a travesty. He's on a 1 year. He's basically, this is this year and it's up. Am I playing as a team now? Or am I trying to put on my own audition tape? Y'all want to know why we've been saying some of these players are playing hero ball? Dak Prescott said Micah Parsons said some of these players are playing hero ball. You know why they're playing hero ball, Micah Parsons? Because we know they're clearing a salary cap for you. You're the third piece in the puzzle. They're not clearing salary cap for these other players. They're not. It's every man for themselves with some of these guys. They're like, I got to make some plays. I got to make some plays. I got to make some splash plays. So someone will notice me because our coach, he stinks as a coach. His plays stink. His leadership stinks. The GM leadership stinks. He's always in the locker room. Creepy, if you ask me. He's always talking. He won't shut up. He's always writing checks. And we can't cash these checks right now because he's leading. So he's leading, as in Mike McCarthy. Jerry's leading him. So how do we say we want the head of everything? The head is broken. The coach is broken. And the players are supposed to be great. Cowboys, I just believe they should fire Mike McCarthy. I do. You're sending a bad message to the team. You are. It doesn't even look like Mike McCarthy is trying hardly anymore. And I think people are noticing it. Either he's dumb or he's trying to get fired. And I can't believe Mike McCarthy is dumb. Not this dumb. I mean, come on. You should have learned from the Green Bay incident. You should have learned from the incident from last year when everybody talked so bad about you. Then you went into the bye week, came out, you was a whole different coach. Mike knows what he needs to do. He's not doing it. He's not doing it. And Jerry doesn't understand. How do you tell the media with your team listening that you have confidence in the coaching staff? What kind of message are you sending your team? And we wonder why people on this team say every man for himself. Well, you take on the characteristics of the head. And it seemed like the owner is saying it's about him and not the team. So how do we expect the team to say it's not about me, but it's about the team when the owner is saying it's not about the team? I mean, his mouth is saying it's about the team. Yeah. We hear you with all the you're confident in us stuff. I'm sorry. When I'm watching my leader, Dak Prescott, when I'm watching him get hurt, and then you throw in Cooper Rush, and everybody's been telling me he's a mythical unicorn. He's 5-1. Some of these players saw it. Then they saw Cooper Rush on Sunday. And I bet you some of those players said, what in the world are y'all talking about? This is crazy, y'all. Yep, Jose Covado, Jerry Jones willfully doing things that hurt this football team remains one of the most frustrating things going on with the Cowboys. I just think he's hurting the team. I do. Sanders comes here, Carson and Bland will be superstars in one season. I believe you. For sure. It's a business now. Yep. Jerry making business decisions. Deion Sanders is not younger than our team, so he will be respected. Oh, man, you better believe he'll be respected. Question is, will he do the right thing with him? If Deion Sanders won't come on Nick Saban, Saban is already a no-go. It's between Lincoln Riley and Bill Belichick. I don't think so. I don't think Lincoln Riley is in the running. I think Bill Belichick is a dream. The person who I am not going to be shocked. I see two scenarios. Y'all tell me what you think. Two scenarios. Everything I keep hearing from Jerry Jones, it's his fault. I believe he's going to bring back Mike McCarthy. I believe Jerry Jones is preparing us testing the waters to see what happens if he brings back Mike McCarthy. That's what I think. That's what I think he's doing. It's nefarious, but I think that's what he's doing. Everybody keeps talking about it. Yeah, Jerry's going to fire Mike McCarthy. Well, first of all, let's make a correction. Jerry Jones cannot fire Mike McCarthy unless he does it during the season. But what Jerry is trying to slink out of here and do is not fire Mike McCarthy, but rather what he wants to do is just not re-sign his contract. He told us already he regretted doing what he did with Wade Phillips. So here we are again. This time he said he's not going to make that mistake, and he's not going to fire Mike McCarthy no matter what we do. So let's get to breaking news, and then we're going to come right back and look at this Micah Parsons issue. Cooper Rush has been announced as the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for the remainder of the season. Cooper Rush, from what I'm hearing, has been announced as the starting quarterback for the rest of the season. Y'all tell me what you think. I feel sorry for Cooper Rush. I absolutely feel sorry for Cooper Rush. And I'm going to tell you why. I want you to think about this. Do we not realize that Cooper Rush got humiliated? Cooper Rush absolutely got humiliated on national TV after everybody talked all this stuff. I can remember Mike McCarthy saying, "Oh, it's bigger than the 5-1 record." Oh, is it? Do tell, Mike McCarthy, do tell, because you're saying it's bigger than the 5-1 record. Oh, he's well respected around the league as one of the best backups in the league. Jerry Jones said there's no drop off. We can do the whole repertoire. We expect similar results. Didn't look similar to me. Do we not realize Jerry Jones? There is no end to the silliness of what Jerry Jones is about to do. Do y'all realize if you look at this remaining schedule? Do y'all realize that Jerry Jones is literally about to humiliate Cooper Rush if he lets Cooper Rush start the rest of this season? What do y'all think the Texans are going to do to Cooper Rush? The Washington Commanders are going to do to Cooper Rush. The Giants, Wait till you see this one with the Bengals and the Cowboys. The Bengals right now is one of the most disappointing. They have one of the most disappointing records in all of football. Joe Burrow is balling out and they're 4-6. The Bengals are going to be playing for something. The Panthers, might not be too bad. Buccaneers, they're going to be in the thick of the playoff hunt. Eagles, it's just principle. They'll already be in the playoffs. Commanders, I don't know if the Commanders are going to keep. I mean, they've already got beat by Pittsburgh. I see where they could actually be playing for their playoff life too. What do y'all think they're going to do to Cooper Rush? I feel so sorry for Cooper Rush. I do. I mean, he's making more money than me. But they have heaped way too much expectation and praise on this kid. And he's not, y'all, it's not saying anything wrong against Cooper Rush. He's just not that good. He's good if you're talking about he made the pros. He's good. I don't think in actuality no one is trash in the NFL. But when we start comparing them to each other, skill and, what they can do, how they perform, there are just players who are better. Cooper Rush is not a starting quarterback. I think what they're thinking, y'all, is that was his first game. He'll look better on the next one. Here's the problem with this team they're going to face for the rest of the season, minus the Giants and minus the Panthers. Every time they get behind, it's going to change how they play. Every time they get behind, it's going to change how they play, y'all. And the moment this team gets behind, they play insanely different. Mike McCarthy whips out the play sheet. Oh, pass. Cooper Rush is in danger. Cooper Rush is going to be in danger. And we already saw yesterday, Cooper Rush is an absolute sitting duck. This is shameful what he's about to do. Jerry be like, I'm in my golden time of the days, not your days. Y'all shut up. Yep. Will Jerry allow the next coach to coach and get all the groceries to cook and make it? He's not going to do it. And again, I don't think it's Jerry. I think he's the face of this nonsense. The real issue is Steven, because I don't think Steven will allow Jerry to buy the groceries. I don't believe he's letting him do it. Jamie Scott, what's going on? Thank you. I love and know football, and I am learning more. I like to research everything. That's the only way I know how to do it. I'm with you. Hey, love the show. Appreciate you, David. Had a quick question. Okay, I got you. Wait, you said who has the... You know what? I kind of know what you mean. I won't repeat what you're saying. I know you're probably you're talking about this creepy stuff with Jerry Jones. But in general, if we're just talking serious, I mean, Dak Prescott is the man on this team. But, I told you he would be in Barkley's face. He wanted that jersey. Oh, man, no doubt. No doubt. Nisi, because Parsons doesn't want to play for the Cowboys. He wants the Eagles. That's why. You know what? They keep saying he wants to play for the Eagles. This team has never bounced back from that Green Bay loss. They haven't. And it messed Jerry up in the head. You'd have thought he was out there playing. We have dogs. We have about 6 I can name. I believe so, too. The problem is we don't have a dog leading the dogs. We don't have a dog leading the dogs. That's the problem. Mike should have been fired a long time ago, and they're damaging some of this team to do it. Lifelong Detroit Lions fan, what's going on? Cowboy Nation deserves much better than this, and Jerry's not going to give it to us. Jerry is going to keep insulting this fan base week after week. It's my fault. Micah, it's my fault. Confidence in Mike McCarthy. I believe in the players in that locker room. Oh, it's going to be every excuse. Oh, 5 turnovers. Oh, this, oh, that. Insulting the entire fan base. Belichick will have this team walking like military. Won't tolerate no nonsense. The problem is, Crush, is they're going to have to find a way to get him in the door. Mike was doomed the day he signed that contract. Yep, nonsense. Jay Recruiter, Big Mike wants his unemployment. He wants that unemployment check, Jay Recruiter. He wants that unemployment check. Why can't they make the decision about the curtains? Jerry Jones. You can't tell me they have a doggone panel of people making decisions and they simply cannot make the decision to close the curtains. It's got to be Jerry Jones. Nisi, you're hitting it right on the head. Mike don't know how to rise above this mess. I do. The way he did at the podium, remember what he did last week? You can't draft for need. You have to have a player development system. I would tear Jerry Jones up in the court of public opinion. He need to fire me or leave me alone. The one coach the players respected was the scapegoat last year. The one coach... Hit me up. Tell me, okay, the one coach the players respected. What are you talking about? Because Kellen Moore, he was gone the year before last. Okay, tell me what you're talking about, DFW. We took the 12-5 seasons for granted. Yep. And you know what else we did? We also took those for granted because we didn't look every year at what we were lacking in. 12-5 can blind you. We didn't look every year. We didn't seek to say, okay, how do we get better? How do we continue to get better? But in 2023, I will say this. I'll give Jerry Jones credit for this. The Stephon Gilmore move was genius. It was genius. The only place I think we made the mistake was not getting Bobby Wagner. I think that was a mistake. I think the second mistake was we didn't get another wide receiver. If you get another wide receiver, you already got Pollard. Bobby Wagner could have solidified the middle of that linebacking core, even though you were playing safeties at linebacker. Bobby Wagner could have helped you stabilize that. And that's what Dan Quinn wanted. Dan Quinn wasn't asking for a lot. Dan Quinn was asking for just a little bit. And Jerry didn't give it to him. And he said, I'm done with you. Yeah, I think Kellen Moore is going to be top. Kellen Moore, to me, is at the top of the list for this team. I do. And I find it, like I said, DFW, I find it to be ironic. He came back in here and he beat the Cowboys the very way that Mike McCarthy said he couldn't with the run. We won't win until Jerry gets fired. Okay, so Cooper Rush has been announced as the starting quarterback for the remainder of the year, and I believe they are literally about to humiliate Cooper Rush. This is going to be a humiliation. But you know what I find to be funny? Do y'all know who the Cowboys went and signed to the practice squad? Now, the reason why they signed him to the practice squad is that, I don't know, I haven't heard any results of the Dak Prescott issue. I haven't heard the results of the Dak Prescott issue. And so, it's for whatever reason, maybe they're going to try to play Dak Prescott in another couple of weeks. I mean, I don't see anything on it. I really don't see anything on it. I'm on the Athlon. Haven't seen anything yet where Dak Prescott has been committed to injured reserve. So this is why they're putting Will Grier on the practice squad rather than on the 53-man roster as the emergency quarterback, because it looks like they're waiting. I mean, it looks like, I guess they're waiting. I don't know what the official waiting is. But I don't know. But for right now, Will Grier has been put on the practice squad. And if anybody remember Will Grier is the quarterback that the Cowboys had pretty much made their mind up on who was going to be the third quarterback. And so they gave Will Grier the opportunity to play the last preseason game. And you know what's funny about Will Grier? I'm going to show you just how Jerry Jones operates. Do y'all realize that Will Grier, a lot of people thought Will Grier outplayed Cooper Rush? A lot of people thought Will Grier was better than Cooper Rush as the backup quarterback. Don't understand it. Do not understand it. Well, I understand it, but it doesn't make sense. It was Jerry Jones. It was literally Jerry Jones. It's crazy. Says right here, and let me see here. And it's not giving us anything on exactly still with Dak, but Will Grier spent 2021 and 22 with the Cowboys. They cut him before the start of the 2023 season after requiring Trey Lance in a trade with the 49ers. Grier threw for 305 passing yards and 2 touchdowns, and also ran for 2 touchdowns in the final preseason game in 2023. The Panthers made him a third-round pick in 2019, and he has also spent time with the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Chargers, and I think he went to the Patriots after that Dallas Cowboy thing. Man, boy, Will Grier looked like a Super Bowl quarterback with Dak Prescott calling those plays. And so Will Grier is back in Dallas. And I'm not going to be surprised, y'all. They're saying that Cooper Rush is the starting quarterback. Y'all watch what I tell you. Cooper Rush, this thing is not going to get better. It's not going to get better. The only way it gets better is Mike McCarthy run the ball 45 times. It's the only way it gets better. And I don't believe he's going to do that. It's going to get worse and worse and worse, I believe, with Cooper Rush. But I tell you this, I won't be surprised if Will Grier plays. I won't be surprised if they give him a starting game or two. I'm not going to be surprised either. I don't believe the Dallas Cowboys are done with Trey Lance. I don't believe they're done with Trey Lance. I think they're going to probably try to incorporate this quote-unquote Trey Lance package a little bit more. I think that's what they're going to do. And then they're going to turn around and they might even give him a start or two. But I think they should just let him start, period. I don't think it makes sense to do what they're doing. What are we hoping with Cooper Rush? What are we hoping? Because I just don't see how it gets better for Cooper Rush. So I think in the grand scheme of things, I see where both of them probably, I see where they're going to keep trying to do this little dumb Trey Lance experiment here and there, and then maybe they'll give him a quarter or a half. But I'm going to tell you what I don't like about the Dallas Cowboys. Nisi mentioned this, I think, I think she mentioned it this week and last week. What I don't like about what the Cowboys do, when the fan base is calling for someone, what they will do is they'll say, okay, we're going to give y'all what you want. Okay, y'all want Dalvin Cook? We're going to give y'all Dalvin Cook. We're going to give Dalvin Cook maybe 6 runs, and we're going to just, okay, nothing exciting, hand it to him, and if he get a couple of yards, good. He runs for 12 yards, I think, one game, and 8 another one. And it's almost like they say, well, we gave you what you want. You see why we're not letting him start? And it's almost like in the Eagles game. We're giving you Cooper Rush. We're giving you Trey Lance. You see what he looks like? He doesn't look any better than Cooper Rush. But if I could sit in a room with Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, Trey Lance looked way better. I thought he looked way better. I actually thought the offense seemed like they kind of perked up when he came in. I know the fan base did. But it seemed like to me they perked up a little bit when he got in. Why? Because they know what he can do. Okay, he can run the ball. He can get us in the end zone. He's got a strong arm. I think they were thinking those things. And so I just think it's a mistake. I think all of this is a mistake. I don't understand how Jerry can justify keeping Mike McCarthy on this team. I don't. What kind of morale do you think this team has? When Dak said we suck, he was not talking about the team. He was talking about the situation. I just don't know I don't know how we can expect this team to do any better. It's just craziness when you think about it in the grand scheme of things. The stuff this team is going through, man, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy as a team. So let's switch gears here. I want to look at a couple of videos before we get out of here. So there's an issue about Mike. There's an issue that people are talking about with Micah Parsons. And I had to go and look at the video myself because, people are really making a big deal out of Micah Parsons' post-game interview. And I was kind of like, hold on a second. What's going on? And I've been seeing all kinds of stuff, and I'm going to show you I'll show you something I saw on X, and I was kind of like, okay, so Micah Parsons is clowning as usual. Micah Parsons, I'm going to tell y'all something about Micah Parsons. Don't y'all dare put a microphone in front of that man's face. You put a microphone in front of Micah Parsons' face and you ask him a question, he probably going to tell you a little bit more than what you want to know. And so I saw this on X and I was like, what is the deal? So Jory Upstein, now watch what she says here. Let me see. This is why I tell y'all context is important. You have to know what's being said and not just sometimes just a snippet. You need to know everything that's being said. So, Jory Epstein says, Okay, hold on a second. All right, here we go. Micah Parsons said coaches aren't his top worry as Cowboys season spirals. Mike can leave and go wherever he wants. Guys, I kind of feel bad for our guys like Zach Martin and guys who might be on their last year or on their way out, because that's who I wanted to hold the trophy for. You want to win games and do great things with those type of legends who put in more time and work than Mike McCarthy ever did. Those are the kinds of guys that I have so much sympathy for, so much sympathy and hurt for. Now, texting is dangerous because sometimes when you're reading a text, you ever notice how we always use emojis at the end of a text? Because sometimes, and the most of the time actually, unless you're saying exactly what you mean, people don't know what they mean. That's why we always put laughing emojis at the end, because we want people to think we're joking or we're laughing when we say it. You know, I mean, we'll put a ill face or we put the praying hands. We're always trying to communicate through text messages the context, the emotion of what we're saying. And so I was like, okay, wow, it's kind of strange here. So let me hear Micah Parsons say what he said himself. And what he says before this is really the key to all of this. Because Micah Parsons is going to say some things that if you don't let him explain, they sound even more questionable the more he says. So let's listen to Micah Parsons' post-game interview.
Having the impact that you did today, what did it feel like for you to be back out there on the field and making plays?
Honestly, it felt great, you know. I felt the energy on the sidelines different. Being back with the guys different. You could tell that, guys felt the energy that I was bringing. But, I just wanted to bring some juice to the team. And I felt for the most part, defense played a pretty good game.
Overshown was saying that you guys came in on defense saying you knew with a backup quarterback in the game, you're going to have to give it everything you got to me. Was that the mentality going in? Did you feel that way too?
I felt like we just had to give our best because we know this is a rival game. Jalen Hurts, that offense is so explosive with the weapons they have. But, I think the mindset was, to kill them birds, really. Like I said, I believed in Cooper Rush. I didn't care who was at quarterback. Our defense, we got to do our job regardless.
Marvion said that you.
Y'all heard what he said? He didn't care who was at quarterback. I'm torn on that statement right there. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat, in the comments. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Does the Marvion Overshawn have the right mindset? Or does Micah Parsons have the right mindset? Because in my mind, I think you got to have a combination of both mindsets. And and this is why I think the Marvion Overshawn is going to be an absolute super stud in this particular league and on this team. He's going to be a super stud because to me, his mindset is right. Micah Parsons, you can tell me anything you want to. Talking about you got confidence in Cooper Rush. You're part of the problem then. Maybe you're saying that and you don't believe that. Maybe you're saying that because you don't want Cooper Rush to not have confidence. But if you actually believe that, there is something wrong with you. Because in actuality, Marvion Overshawn is saying the quiet parts out loud, y'all. Overshawn is saying something. Cooper Rush is not as good, nowhere near as good as Dak Prescott. We can't let him get behind. We cannot let him get behind. We can't make mistakes. We got to keep the game close. We got to keep it within a field goal or two, even a touchdown, but nothing more. Marvion Overshawn is saying, we don't have our leader. Micah Parsons is, I don't care who's at quarterback. That matters. That matters, Micah Parsons. That matters. Because if you have your quarterback the way y'all played kind of in the first half, and they made a mistake, they made some mistakes, just like y'all made some mistakes. But if y'all got y'all quarterback, I just think the play calling is probably different. Dak Prescott is doing and making some of those throws that Mike McCarthy clearly said there were shots. We couldn't make them. He's talking about Cooper Rush. We watched Cooper Rush just skip balls off the carpet. It does matter. And okay, Mike, I understand. Maybe, just maybe, you're saying that because you don't want it to be a shot at be a shot at Cooper Rush. But Demarion Overshown is saying the quiet parts out loud. We cannot afford to let Cooper Rush get behind. It is what it is. It is what it is. And so I guess, Mike, in this sense, I'm torn on that statement. Y'all tell me what you think.
Provided the spark, you and him flying around getting some things done. It lifted the whole defense. Talk about that.
Yeah, man, that's little bro, man. I had to sometimes. I told him, I said, sometimes you gotta let a pit bull go. And sometimes you gotta know when to leash him back up. So, as I'm getting a little older, but still being wild, pit bull, I gotta leash him up sometimes. He wants to give it all. He got like a true warrior spirit, man. I think eventually I might want to hop back and play linebacker again just so I can play with him. I love the energy he brings. He's such a special, I don't even want to say kid because he played like a grown man, but he's somebody I hope I play with for a long time.
You see some Micah Parsons.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just being 100% real. Agree with me or not. Demarion Overshown is the very reason I would have traded Micah Parsons. He's the very reason I'm trading Micah Parsons. I'm actually going to build my defense with Demarion Overshown. Micah Parsons, to me, is like a renegade. He's like a renegade player. And to me, it's like he wants to be the leader in some form of fashion on the team. He's going to mention something about that in a moment. But he built different to me. And some of these guys are built different. Y'all tell me if I'm crazy. If you can see your screen, I'm going to play this with no sound. You tell me if this looks like a player who just got his brains absolutely beat out on his own football, on his own field, hasn't won a game at home this season. Got beat to death out there. Look at his face. Tell me what it looked like to you. Does he have the face to you that looks like he just got splattered out there? Just look. Watch this next. Look. Micah Parsons. Now look at his face. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Wait. Let me go back. You can't see his face. I forgot to put the screen up. I want you to look at his face. Is that the face of somebody that just got their brains beat out on their own home field? Their own home field. You can't pay them to win a game. You gave them the game, they'd lose it. Look at his face. Look at his face. Does that face look like somebody who just got their brains beat out? I don't know. I'm just from a different era. I'm just built different. The thing that bothers me about Micah Parsons, and the reason why I know Jerry loves him, Micah Parsons is just like his owner. He loves the microphone in his face. Any opportunity you're going to give him to talk, he's going to talk. And I just think some of the things that he say, I just don't think he thinks before he talks. I mean, he just says things, and I'm like, bro, you really need to be thinking before you answering these questions. Process these things, man. Do y'all know that Dak Prescott is the best? I mean, even Colin Cowherd, who hates Dak Prescott, this man said that Dak Prescott is the best man he's heard at the podium. He's the best quarterback in the league at the podium. Very buttoned up, always says the right things. Micah Parsons be kind of tripping on some of these things he be saying. Nisi said, now that I'm thinking about it more, I don't think Jerry will bring back Mike. Jerry said Dak will do more with less, meaning Mike, you want to play call and use our guys. Show me what you got. Yeah, probably true. Parsons needs to be at linebacker. Said it this morning. No doubt. Kicker is the best player, 70-yard field goal, man. Y'all better hold your breath on Brandon Aubrey. He got Dak Prescott's agent. Now he gonna get what he's worth because they paying him like bird feed right now. But what do y'all think about Micah Parsons? I mean, does he look like somebody that just got beat? You know what my problem is with what I'm seeing from Micah Parsons? He said it felt good out there. He felt the energy and all of these. You got beat, man. You didn't lose 20-17. You didn't lose 20-19. You didn't win 21-20. There are break parts. Do y'all know they are still cleaning up the brake parts at Texas Stadium? I mean, they beat the brakes off the Cowboys. Micah Parsons is sitting here relishing in the fact we got the brakes beat off us, but I think the defense played pretty good overall. What? I'd have traded him. Nope. I don't know. I'm just the wrong one to talk to about this stuff. That to me just not a dog. That ain't a dog to me. Nah, bruh. I ain't answering them questions like this. We are seeing Michael become what I call me first F the team player. This dude said it didn't matter who was at quarterback. I bet you Dak don't like him. I bet you Dak like him, but he don't like him as a teammate. He don't fit Dak Prescott, y'all. These two guys, they're probably cordial. Might even like each other. Teammate-wise, though, I don't think neither one of them like each other as a teammate. I don't. This dude is different, man. And once he completely becomes that, he will be exactly that wherever he plays. I'm actually laughing that I've already showed you the box score. This dude right here says he thinks that they had a great game. I'm still lost. He said we had a great game. And then I look at this right here. I want y'all to look at this. Look who at the top of the leaderboard. Demarion Overshown is at the top of the leaderboard. 8 tackles, 3 assists, 2 sacks. That's what I call a straight up beast mode dog. Look at Micah Parsons. 2 tackles because they're both sacks. No assisted tackles. Nothing else. So if the team runs the ball, if the team gets the lead, how effective is Micah Parsons on your team? I don't know who this scouting department is. One thing about Jerry Jones I never could stand, Jerry Jones gets way too sentimental about players. When Jerry Jones gets sentimental about players, he'll choose players over the team. He'll choose players over winning. He'll choose players over everything. You don't believe me? A la Ezekiel Elliott is on this team. Jerry likes Micah Parsons. And not just because he's a great football player. Micah Parsons is like Jerry Jones. They both love attention. They're both arrogant. They're both selfish. They both love the media. It's crazy. It's crazy. This, to me, doesn't look like a guy that just got the brakes beat off of him by the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know about y'all. I'm different. I wouldn't want to play with a guy like this. I wouldn't. I'm chilling, man. What's going on? I wouldn't want to play with this guy. I wouldn't. This dude is all about himself, and he know he about to get the bag. Michael couldn't podcast and use that for his show. I couldn't play with him. Dallas has 2 good players, Parsons and Lamb. All the rest need the heart. They play soft like the coach. I'll tell you this, Ronnie, I'd have traded both of them. Both of them. Neither one of them are team players. They're not. And Trayvon Diggs has not been playing good this season. I'm not going to call him trash, but it is what it is. Look at his tape. He's getting the socks burned off of him. He got 1 interception yesterday. He ain't back. He ain't back at all. Trayvon Diggs, I'm telling y'all, you don't believe me, but we're gonna admit this eventually. But I'm gonna tell you something. Micah Parsons, as long as he's at defensive end, he is an absolute liability for your defense. He is an absolute liability for your defense. Trayvon Diggs, y'all can have him. I wouldn't want him on my team. You want to know why I wouldn't want Trayvon Diggs on my team? I mean, I'm not going to call myself a football savant, but I know just a little bit. Y'all help me out. Anybody out there played football before on any level? On any level have you played football? Tell me. Has your grandson played football? Have you watched football? People like Niecy, Angie, y'all like football experts. Tell me this ain't a problem. Tell me this ain't a problem. Look who's at the bottom of your defense. Look who's at the bottom of your defense. Trayvon Diggs is tackle-less. There is no way. It just can't be a way. There is no way that you're a cornerback and you have 0 tackles, 0 assisted tackles, and you're a cornerback. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Jalen Hurts was running way too much for you not to just be in on a tackle. This means Trayvon Diggs, I can remember a playoff game against the San Francisco 49ers, and there was one player on the team other than the kicker whose uniform was bright white clean. Trayvon Diggs. Tell me what you want to about Trayvon Diggs. I'm not going to debate you. You can call him a dog all you want to. He ain't the dog I want on my team. He's not the dog I want on my team. I want a cornerback. I want a cornerback who's going to mix it up. Even Deion Sanders made tackles. He might have ankle tackled. He wasn't going to hit you straight up. But a lot of folks said Deion wouldn't tackle. No, Deion made business decisions. Deion wouldn't tackle you straight up. Deion would let you run past him, and then he would tackle you from behind or the side. They're not the same, y'all. They're not the same. People actually don't realize how good Deion Sanders was. They don't understand how good this man was. Trayvon Diggs, registering no tackles? Nah, They didn't a dog to me. Dogs mix it up in the yard. Dog mix it up in the yard when everybody start mixing it up and it's a dog out there and another dog's fighting. Nah, them little chihuahuas and stuff, them little prissy dogs. I mean, they gonna do a lot of barking from the sideline, but they ain't gonna jump in that fight. Them real dogs, let them pit bulls loose. Let them pit bulls loose. All it needs to be is some growling in the yard. They gonna get in that thing. Nah, I'm not giving it to him. Nah, he ain't no dog. He ain't no dog, man. It's something not right there. There's something not right there, man. There is no dog in this dude. You can look at his box score almost every week. This man ain't mixing it up. Dak and Tyler Smith, we the only guys who stupid before the media after the playoff loss to the Green Bay. Everybody else dissed Dak, but nobody called out Mike and CD for not speaking to the media. You know what else they didn't call Micah Parsons out for? The fact that he absolutely disappears in the playoffs. See, the media won't say it to his face. They wait until they get in them seats on Monday. And everybody will tell you, this dog right here that we're calling the dog, where is he in the playoffs? Where is he? Where is he in the playoffs? Do we not realize the best defensive stands for this team? At least in my opinion. Well, the best game they played this year, they won without him. It was the Pittsburgh Steelers game. Anybody realize the Pittsburgh Steelers are 7-2 and nobody has done to them yet what we've done to them? Nah, they could have this dog. I'd have traded him. Gene said he doesn't care anymore and is saying crap to be traded. I say send his butt on somewhere. He's been begging. He's been begging. He's been talking about Dan Quinn. He's been talking about these teams. He couldn't be on my team. I see that Dak can't stand him. I wouldn't be able to stand him because he's not a dog. He's not. He's talented. Let's not confuse him being talented, not being talented with not being a dog. Let's not confuse the two. You can be absolutely supremely talented and not be a dog. I'm about to make some folks mad right now because I know there's probably some LeBron James fans out there listening to me. I don't care what nobody say. You ask me, I'm in the championship game, and I got to choose one of three players between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. Now, if I'm going size, I'd probably do LeBron James at number 2. But if I'm talking about absolute dog, if I'm talking about absolute dog diggity dog, I'm choosing Michael Jordan all day long. I don't care who you tell me the team is in history. Michael Jeffrey Jordan is absolute dog GOAT. He is absolute dog. I'm not talking about longevity. I'm not talking about records, even though Michael Jordan's records are even impeccable to me and can't be touched. You better believe Michael Jordan is absolute dog. This dude right here, supremely talented. No dog in him. I can't see it yet. I can't see it. Nisi, what game was he watching? What game was he watching? The only one that really had a great game on that team was Demarion Overshawn. Tell me where he is. But I mean, Michael not even on the sheet. He got 2 tackles, both of them sacks. Trayvon Diggs, 1 interception. He's satisfied. 0 tackles. Shameful. I'm going to tell you something. Go to some of these high schools where they got these 5-star recruits. I bet you they'll tell you ain't no way their cornerbacks better not have no tackles. I bet you they be on the bench. Don't tell, ain't no catches coming on my side. You can't play for us. We need you mixing it up out here. Cam Chillen says, so why wasn't Dak right when he said we suck? Dak said it first. Yeah, we suck. We suck. Cam chilling, we care because we worried about next year. we ain't so concerned about this year no more, Cam. We worried about next year. I mean, we still gonna be fans of this team next year. We want to see what they're gonna be doing for the next 2 to 3 years. Parsons' brother told y'all how Michael felt about Dak. Boy, you better stop telling truth. The real Daryl says Freddie Morales, good post about Michael to win a chip. The pieces have to fit and everybody has to be unselfish. Cowboys have not that amount. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all hitting right on the head. That's why I made a difference between talent and a dog. I promise y'all. The quarterback is the centerpiece of your team. If everybody on your team, and I mean everybody, if they don't fit in with the quarterback and you've committed to that quarterback, you get rid of everybody on that team that don't fit in with your quarterback. I don't care what anyone says. Linebackers aren't leading teams. The quarterback is. Troy Aikman was not the best player on the Dallas Cowboy team. For all you 90 Cowboys, if anybody watched it, he was not the best player on the team. But I bet you this, Michael Irvin, a lot of people said that Michael Irvin was the leader on the team. You ask Michael Irvin who was the leader on the team, he'll tell you Troy. Michael will tell you Troy Aikman absolutely didn't play. And all the other players believed it too. All the other players believed it. They didn't play around with this man. Cam, we know it's over. We're not worried about this year. We're talking about next year. Chemistry is real in the locker room at the pro level. You're right. And that's why, for me, Micah Parsons don't make it past trade deadline. That's crazy to me. He's shown you he don't have no respect for your quarterback. I am getting rid of this man. And I would have literally got a king's ransom for him. I would have got a king's ransom for him. I would have. You could have built your whole team around this dude. I mean, off that trade. Because you're not going to build no team with him. Not if he don't fall in line with the quarterback. It's not going to happen. Yep. Wow, Nisi. I'm telling you. Cam Chillen said he played backup cornerback. Let me hear what you got to say, Cam. Let's see. Mike is looking for sacks, and that's it. That's it. That's all he's looking for. He will fire Mike. He will fire Mike McCarthy. You'll see. I'm going to believe it when I see it. I've been saying we need a cornerback. Yep. Diggs ain't doing it. I don't understand it, Cam Chillen. Jerry falls in love with players and not the team. Jerry falls in love with players. Sanders was good on defense and offense. People don't understand. He made business decisions, but he tackled. Phil Woods, there's no I in team. Cam Chillen, you hit it on the head. Gene, I would have traded Diggs and Parsons. I'd have traded them. Diggs scares because of his ACL. That's why I'm telling you, I'd have traded him while you could. Jerry's not trading Diggs and Parsons because of jersey sales. It's a business for this man. They said he's been aching before the season started. Well, sit him down then. I'm not playing hurt. I don't care what nobody say, especially once you give me my check. I ain't playing hurt. Your body is the product. Your body is the product. I'm not going to play hurt because it only hurts not only the product. My product is the productivity for the team. I got to play good for the team so the team can win. If I can't play good for the team, what good am I on the team? Man, I got to be honest with myself. If I can't play, I can't play. Now, if I can play 70%, guess what? You're not going to hear not one excuse. You're not going to hear not one excuse. I'm not going to tell you I'm hurt. If I'm going to play 70%, you better believe I'm going to give it 100% of 70%. I'm playing. I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to mix it up. Yes, sir. I'm taking Kobe Bean Bryant, bro. I'm taking Mike. I'm taking Kobe Bean Bryant, and then I'm taking LeBron. Because them two dudes are dogs. Overshawn is not giving up. Keep on dancing after every tackle. Man, Overshawn in a different world, isn't he, Donald? Overshawn in a different world, man. Cam Chillen, yep, he's showing it. He shouldn't be playing. My MJ all day long, not a crybaby. Nope. Detroit Pistons beat him to death. He didn't complain. He went and got bigger. Parsons is still a Cub. Yep. J. Lou, dog. Overshown is not giving up. Keep on dancing. I'm telling you, that dude's, man, Michael could learn something from that young dude. That dude got a different motor, man. That Bell one tackle was heard all the way in New Jersey. Hey, this dude different, man. Bell wants to play. I don't even understand that one. Something's wrong with that. McCarthy's getting fired. I know that. Watch. Man, I'm going to tell you, I'm definitely going to be watching. I'm watching for that press conference. Parsons, put him at linebacker, Donald. You put that man with Demarion Overshown, now you got a defense. But you keep him at that defensive end, stupid. Crush, we need a safety. Crush, I'm calling it now. Tell me what you think. Shiloh Sanders will be the safety for the Dallas Cowboys. I believe he's on Jerry Jones' draft board. If Jerry Jones can't have Deion Sanders, he definitely wants his son because Jerry loved Deion Sanders being around the Cowboys. He wants him and may even try to make it as an incentive. Hey, Deion, I got your son. I got Travis Henry, man. Come coach the team. Dak Prescott is smarter than people give him credit for. He realizes that the party's over. He does. Let's listen to the rest of this Micah Parsons thing. I want to get to the last statement he makes. Let's go.
Man, I see greater things. You know, I think in sense of where you hope at people that you kind of, I don't want to say I look up to him, but how he plays, the motor, the relentlessness, man. I hope he's greater than me in all aspects of this game. You know, that's something that you hope for all your fellow teammates.
Being one of the leaders on the team, what do you say? I mean, what do you say to this group to try to keep hope alive to get things back?
Yeah, we had a great message in chapel this week, man. You got to be the light. Even when other sides that offense light isn't shining as hard as you know past, that offense has always kind of shined brighter than us, and we kind of needed their juice to big us up. We got to be the offense's light this time. You know, every time we had a turnover, I looked at the guy and said, we knew some bad things gonna happen. I mean, that's where we at with this. So, but we got to be the light. We got to hold them to 3. And, you know, I think they earned one good drive. Before half, I give them that drive. But, you know, I feel like some things gave them some aspects of the game gave them those other touchdowns. But, overall, I'm happy for these defensive guys, how they played. Obviously, you want some plays back. A couple of those penalties cost us. But I'm happy in the direction where we're going.
How's your ankle feeling?
Wait a minute. Did you hear what Micah Parsons said? When I first heard this, I did a double take. Micah Parsons said he likes the direction we're going. Maybe Micah Parsons has changed uniforms. Maybe he's actually in the Eagles uniform. Did we trade Micah Parsons and I wasn't aware of it this morning? Can y'all help me out? Who's happy with the way and the direction this team is going? Something ain't right, y'all. What direction is he talking about? This team, there is nothing right now that's showing any of us that this team is headed in the right direction. I mean, maybe I'm dumb. The only light that I can see, he says be the light. Okay, I'm going to be realistic. The only light I can see right now is that the Cowboys are headed in the top 10 of the draft. What else do they have looking forward to, y'all? They're not going to win maybe but 1 or 2 more games for the rest of the season. Maybe. Your coach, 1-year deal. Everybody is leaning towards. He's gone. Most of the coaching staff will be gone. Some of these players will be gone. What direction is he talking about? Because I don't see it. Unless Jerry Jones is giving him the vision. I don't see it. That's got to be one of the strangest comments in this conversation to me. I mean, y'all tell me this is strange to me. Trying to act tough, he's falling short. I mean, y'all tell me, is this not strange? Jordan Lewis has overshown to been the next players on defense. They have continued to play hard. Man, I want them to re-sign Jordan. I really do. And if they're not going to re-sign him, it's stupid that they didn't trade him at the trade deadline. He's really good. They don't have to fire Mike because that's it. He's saying he's not going to be re-signed. That's the easy thing. All the Dak haters keep that same energy when Parsons signs, since Dak's contract is in y'all eyes based on playoff wins. You better believe it. You better believe it, Niecy. Dak is about his money. That's why I said he played Jerry. You know, I'm going to wait and see on Dak because I don't think he's built like that. I think that's why he's still trying to play. Because if Dak was all about the money, I'm telling you, I'm not even trying to play this season. And honestly, I think it would be the best thing if Dak don't play this season, if it's as bad as they're saying it is. Jerry told Micah about the rebuild. Watch this, Niecy. Just like he told Dak Prescott about the rebuild. Jerry told Dak Prescott exactly what he was doing. He told him. And the reason why I know he told him, because when Troy Aikman said, what do you think Jerry meant by all in? He said, I don't know what he meant by all in. And then he persisted to explain exactly what's happening this season. Well, all the guys who were sitting behind people that didn't have a chance to play, I believe Jerry was saying that he's all in on the players that we have on this team right now. Isn't it strange? That's exactly what he did. I mean, it's kind of hard to say you don't know and be dead on like that. How could Micah Parsons say he likes the direction the team is going unless he knows the direction the team is going? Because if you're talking about what they're doing on the field, you can't be happy with that. You can't be. Because right now it looks like it's all the way down, y'all. Jay Recruiter said he's confused. He's using the wrong words. Man, Micah's happy. Real Daryl, what? He's happy? Man, people talking about the wrong part of this interview. Because this is the part that's got my mind racing. I have noticed these young players are doing a lot of talking about team chemistry before their time. Yeah, Niecy, what you talking about? Dak is trash. Okay, Niecy says the players know what's going on. I think some of them do. And if they don't know, they are looking at it, then they know what's going on. Gee, don't say the boys will win 1 or 2 more games. Don't jinx the top 10. That's what we're fighting for right now. Cam Chillen says, I'm a Dak hater. Dang. Well, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Dak is worth every penny they paid him. He ain't getting paid enough for all the abuse this man takes. He's not getting paid enough to be on this team. Niecy says, notice CD isn't complaining either. They know. Woo, Donald. Are you talking about Trayvon acts like his brother Stephon? Tell me if that's what you're talking about. Well, it don't matter if you're mad. There's no point in crying over spilled milk. Dak's here to stay. And there's nothing you can do about it and nothing I can do about it. And I wouldn't want to do anything about it. I think he's the best thing to happen to the Cowboys. That's just me. And his stats show it. His plays show it. The only problem Dak Prescott is having, he's got a team around him that if Dak's team, everybody wants to put everything on Dak. They want Dak to make up for every deficiency they have. It wasn't that we just couldn't run the ball. We couldn't stop the run. And Dak didn't give up those 40-plus points. If the defense, let me tell y'all something. See, I'm going to show y'all I can make you a believer, and even if you don't believe, it's still true. What did I tell y'all this morning, some of y'all who were here? I want to play on a team like the Detroit Lions. I want to play on a team like the Detroit Lions. I want to play on a team to where I can throw 5 interceptions against a good team like the Houston Texans, a team that's up 23-10 or 23-7 or whatever crazy number they were up. I want to play on a team, y'all, where I can throw 5 interceptions and my defense say, don't worry about it, I got you. I got you. We'll spot you 2, and if you get 3 more, I got you. I want to play on a team, y'all, where I don't have to do everything. That when I'm not clicking, did y'all see the Detroit Lions last night? Did you see the running game? I want to be on a team to when I'm not clicking, I got a running game that's clicking. I got a defense that's clicking. I got an offensive coordinator that's saying, hey, don't you worry about it, Jared Goff. You're not on tonight. So we're going to put that ball in the hands of someone else. We will manufacture some yards. We're going to figure out a way to get down that field. Houston's not going to stop us. I want to play on the type of team to where the defense don't give up. And that's the kind of team that Dak Prescott wants to play on. That's why you'll notice he always tries to bring this team back. Next play. Because Dak says, I made a mistake, let's keep going. Problem is they make a mistake and they don't keep going. I'm just being honest. I couldn't play with people like y'all. I couldn't. I can't play with people who worry about what they don't have and they can't do anything about it. I can't deal with people like that. I deal with people who say, this is what we got. Let's do the best with what we have. I got your back, period. End of story. This team is beyond selfish. It's beyond selfish. I absolutely love what I saw from the Detroit Lions. And people can say it's fixed or whatever. It can be fixed all they want to, but it's a great example of what a team looks like. It's what complementary football is. I explained it this morning. A marriage is not 50-50, it's 100-100. Some days it's going to be 150 to 100, and it's going to be 150 to 50. Some days 135 to 65. But somebody says, you're not performing today. I pick you up. I'm not performing tomorrow. You pick me up. And then when we click on all cylinders, man, we really moving. This is another part of the Dallas Cowboys problem. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. The fan base for the Dallas Cowboys is terrible. I don't think nobody hates on the Dallas Cowboys more than the quote-unquote fan base. The fan base for the Dallas Cowboys is one of the worst fan bases in football because we're always dwelling on the past. We're always dwelling on Roger Staubach. And in particular, a lot of the younger people, they're dwelling on Troy Aikman. Not understanding that Troy Aikman wasn't even the best player on this team. Nowhere near the best player on this team. Do y'all not realize Troy Aikman, if a lot of people, if they're being honest with you, Troy Aikman, I will dare tell you, Troy Aikman wasn't better than Jim Kelly. He wasn't better than Jim Kelly. He had a better team than Jim Kelly. He had a better coach than Jim Kelly, a better offensive coordinator than Jim Kelly, a better defensive coordinator than Jim Kelly. People do not understand Troy Aikman was literally surrounded by Hall of Fame coaches, players, Hall of Fame everywhere. Name me the cornerback that Dak Prescott has played with that's even close to Deion Sanders. Name them. Name them. I'm going to do this in the offseason. I don't have time to play with folk during the regular season. I'm going to destroy people on this conversation. Because I got to understand, what are we comparing Dak Prescott to? What are we comparing him to? Because everything about him screams top 5. But because he hasn't won a playoff game yet. And because he hasn't won but 2 playoff games. And I find it to be so astounding. I find it to be absolutely astounding. This is the part that nobody can argue with. This is the part that nobody can argue with. They'll tell you Dak Prescott is trash all day long. But they can't argue with this. They'll start making up excuses for you in a minute, boy, once you start hitting them with this. I ain't gonna say nothing. Just gonna put it on screen. Strange, isn't it? Isn't this strange? One-time unanimous MVP. Stole the MVP from Dak Prescott in 2023. Go check the stats. He was not better than Dak Prescott. Anybody see what his playoff record is? How many folk in this chat wouldn't agree that Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott? How many folks wouldn't say it? Because I'm going to tell you, Lamar Jackson, to me, when you're talking about talent, yeah, he's better than Dak Prescott. No doubt about it. Lamar Jackson is better than Patrick Mahomes to me when you come to talent. But when you're talking about quarterback, now we're going to have some different discussions. Because at the end of the day, you can tell me that Lamar Jackson is better than Dak Prescott all you want to. But now you're going to have to explain this. He's been on better teams than Dak Prescott. He's got a better coach than Dak Prescott. Y'all tell me, what coach has Dak Prescott been with that y'all consider to be better than Harbaugh? Tell me who it is. Tell me who it is. Tell me the coach that Dak Prescott has had is better than Harbaugh. Tell me who it is. It's strange, Niecy, they give him that, that grace because of the MVP. We don't give Dan Marino that same grace. I don't hear people talking about Dan Marino is the GOAT. Dan Marino was way more talented than Tom Brady. Dan Marino had a way better, I'm still telling you, I saw Dan Marino play. I just can't say as far as quarterback play goes, I can't say there hasn't been anybody I've ever seen that plays the quarterback position better than Dan Marino. He went to one Super Bowl and didn't win none. Your coaches matter. Your owner, your GM, your coach matters. The players around you matter. Because if we're going by some people's standards, I'm going to argue that Joe Flacco is better than Lamar Jackson. I'm going to argue that Trent Dilfer is better than Lamar Jackson. But we really can't make that argument, though. And the thing that's strange to me is that Lamar Jackson, as great as he is, he's a walking video game. As great as he is, what has he done better than Dak Prescott? Because last I checked, people don't play football for MVPs. They don't play football for first team and second team All-Pros. Nobody plays for that stuff. They play for the chip. Strange. I don't even have to argue no more because I know people can't answer it. They'll tell you all day long, Lamar Jackson is better. But he only has 2 playoff wins. And to add insult to injury, don't tell me Dak Prescott threw interceptions, and that's what lost the game in the San Francisco game. Because if you look at all Lamar Jackson's losses, he didn't lose those games on the sideline. He lost those games on the field. Lamar Jackson threw the interception. He threw the interception that ended that game in the AFC Championship game. Nobody but him. Nobody but him. But he's different than Dak Prescott. I give him credit. He built different because people try to criticize him for it, and he said he wasn't having it. He said he wasn't having it. He cussing everybody out. I'm not having it. I made a mistake. We moving on. That's what Dak Prescott keeps trying to tell people to do. Because if their teammates held against Lamar Jackson what the Dallas Cowboy teammates hold against Dak Prescott, they would be just like the Dallas Cowboys. And if the Baltimore Ravens fan base was like some of the crazy, delusional Dallas Cowboy fan base, who keeps trying to compare every quarterback they get to none other than Troy Aikman, who was surrounded by Hall of Fame players, the fan base for the Dallas Cowboys is one of the worst things they have. It is. It's one of the worst things they have. The fan base for the Dallas Cowboys is terrible. Some of us, we're great. We die hard, we ride, we tell the truth. They good, they bad. We ride and that's it. But then there's these other people who claim to be Dallas Cowboy fans. All they do is hate on their quarterback the same way they did to Tony Romo. Tony Romo never had half the players that Troy Aikman had. We'll make up excuses. Well, they had good teams. Nah, they didn't have the kind of teams Troy Aikman had. I'm sorry, they didn't have those kind of teams. They never had those kind of teams. Dak Prescott ain't played yet for one of those type of teams. Tony Romo never played for one of those types of teams. You take Dak Prescott off this team and put him on the Detroit Lions. They're doing the same exact thing or better. Same exact thing or better. Folk don't understand something. Football is the ultimate team sport. Everybody around you matters down to the ball boy. Everybody matters. Everybody matters. We got an owner talking about we're going to pay you, but you're going to do more with less. Who else does their quarterback like that? Everybody's putting players around their quarterback. I'm not listening to that. Freddie says, what got Marino and what kept him from winning a ring was he was unwilling to share the headlines with a running back. Marino wanted all the ink. He loved to throw the ball. He did, Freddie. He loved to throw the ball, period. I gave up on the Joneses replacing an injured player with any player. Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And that's why I say it's always funny to me because there's always a double standard when it comes to Dak Prescott. And the dumb thing about a lot of people, this is how I know folks don't know football. You don't need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I'm just telling you, it's a proven fact. You don't need a great quarterback to win a Super Bowl. You just don't. You just need a great team to win the Super Bowl. A great team will beat talented teams all day long. A great team will beat talented teams all day long. And when you look at a lot of those quarterbacks like Joe Flacco, you look at those quarterbacks, you look at those quarterbacks like Trent Dilfer. You look at those quarterbacks. Nisi brought him up the other day. Nisi, the quarterback, again, for the Philadelphia Eagles. The quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles who stepped in after Carson Wentz, and everybody thought he was done. He just stepped back in and won a Super Bowl. That's all he did. And then they put a statue up of him out there in Philadelphia. And he did nothing after that Super Bowl. You don't need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl. It helps. Somebody says, no, you need a great quarterback. Who in here thinks you need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl? Only thing Aikman leads us in is rings. Freddie says, only thing he leads us in is rings, but the go to the Cowboys quarterback wasn't as Roger. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Roger was crazy. Roger was crazy. Yep, captain back the Dodger. They called him Roger the Dodger. Roger was crazy. He was. Drawing a blank. Why the profanity? That, don't worry. Folks like that, I'm just not putting up that stuff. I'm not putting up that. You want to talk football, fine. You start doing all the name calling and the profanity, you just can't be on here. Nick Foles. Anybody think Nick Foles going to the Hall of Fame? Help me out. Anybody think Nick Foles going to the Hall of Fame? Because I bet you he wouldn't get one vote. Nick Foles not going to the Hall of Fame, y'all. Nick Foles not going to the Hall of Fame. This is how I know folk don't know football. I really don't care in the grand scheme of things what you think about Dak Prescott because he paid more than you. He's better than you at football. Because those who can't talk about folk. See, Dak's better than me at football. He's better than you at football. Anybody who talks about Dak is funny to me because he's better than you. He turned trash because you really need to feel embarrassed because whatever you're trash at, then you might need to go do whatever that is. Because how can he be trash and he be the quarterback for America's team, but you're not trash, but you're on YouTube talking about somebody who making $231 million guaranteed dollars? I don't even understand how grown men do stuff like that. But y'all tell me what you think. Do you really need an elite quarterback? Do you need a Hall of Fame quarterback? Do you need a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl? Because I'm going to destroy your argument every single time. Because I got a quarterback I hadn't even mentioned yet. I got a quarterback right now I haven't even mentioned yet. And everyone is mad because people keep saying, but maybe he should be in the Hall of Fame. Y'all want to know who that quarterback is? I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to give you a hint. Do y'all know Tom Brady still won't speak to him? I think Tom Brady is speaking to him now. I'm going to give you a hint. Y'all tell me who it is. This quarterback said that Tom Edward Brady wouldn't even speak to him. Who do y'all think it is? Nick Foles is one of them. Nick Foles is one of them. Guess who the other one is? Y'all take a wild guess. Jay Recruiter? You answered the question without even trying to answer the question. Eli Manning got 2 Super Bowls. You want to hear something even crazier? If I'm not mistaken, did he not get that Super Bowl before his brother? I thought he got that Super Bowl before Peyton. But would anybody argue that Eli was better than his brother Peyton? Y'all know what Eli did that Peyton Manning couldn't do? Do y'all know that Peyton Manning could not get to the Super Bowl? He couldn't get past Tom Brady. It took him years to do it. Eli rolled right up in the Super Bowl as a wild card quarterback, and he beat Tom Brady not once. He beat him twice. The Dak Prescott talk is stupid. It's stupid. It's irrelevant. Dak Prescott's the quarterback, no matter what anyone does. Tom Brady is angry. He's a dog. You know why he's mad, Niecy? Tom Brady is mad because in his mind, and I don't even think it's in his mind, I think everybody would agree, there's no way Eli Manning should have beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. You know why? Because Eli Manning is not better than Tom Brady by any stretch of the imagination. None. There's not an argument. Do y'all know who else beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl while he's 10-7? Nick Foles is not better than Tom Brady in any universe, but on that day, the Philadelphia Eagles were better than Tom Brady. And if you look at Tom Brady's stats, Tom Brady balled out on the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, if you look at those numbers, you're like, there's no way this man lost. He lost because Nick Foles had the support of a team. And I would rather play on a team. And that's why I'm telling y'all, I believe, and I could be wrong, but right now, I don't think there's nobody stopping the Detroit Lions from getting to the Super Bowl. If the Detroit Lions don't get to the Super Bowl, it's a travesty because they are literally the best team in the NFC. They're the best team. I love what I saw last night. I don't understand how you have 5 interceptions and beat anybody. 5 interceptions and they beat the Houston Texans. Why? Because someone said, someone said that, you know what, Jared, and they kept on throwing. And he kept on throwing interceptions. Oh, they ran the ball. The defense tightened up. The defense said no more points. The defense said, I got you. You don't need a great quarterback. People don't know. They just don't understand football. Anybody will tell you, Tom Brady's first 3 Super Bowls were not Tom Brady. They were all defense. They were defense. When you put your quarterback in a situation to where you don't put the whole team on his shoulders, you'd be surprised how he looked. And Andy Reid, he took the whole team off of Patrick Mahomes' shoulders. Patrick Mahomes didn't win that Super Bowl last year. There are memes going around about Patrick Mahomes right now because they're 9-0. Do y'all know the Denver Broncos took them to task? And the only way they beat the Denver Broncos is with a block kick. Don't tell me it don't always take great quarterback and great quarterback play. We're stupid. We're stupid. And that's why for me, I can't deal with folks who I couldn't play with folks who talk like that. I don't need my quarterback to even be great. I just need my quarterback to be good. That's all I need. Eli is not better than Peyton. Giants had a good defense. Oh, it was a monster. Their defense was a monster. They gave Tom Brady all kinds of problems. All kinds of problems. They couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop that defense. That pass rush. You want to talk about any quarterback's kryptonite? Pass rush. It's every quarterback's kryptonite. G, do you think the Ravens were a little reluctant to sign him? Oh yeah, they were. They were. But you know who stuck up for him? Harbaugh. Harbaugh stuck up for him. Harbaugh said we're going to get him signed. They trust their coach. He's a good coach. He's a great coach. They got him signed. Eli had a great surrounding cast and offensive defense. Folks don't know football. They don't. And that's why I'm laughing at Jerry Jones. He said, are you doing the arithmetic? We were not playing great with Dak. We only won 3 games. You're not going to win any without him. You're not doing the right math. Roberta? There's a lot of people don't care much for Tom Brady, but, for me, he's the GOAT because of his mind, not because of his ability. Eli and the Giants stole the perfect season from Tom. Oh, yeah. Almost went undefeated. You hit it on the head, Nisi. Almost went undefeated. But them Giants, that defense was too much. That defense was too much. People don't understand. It requires, football is the ultimate team sport. And Micah Parsons actually said this. Micah Parsons said last year, Jay Recruiter said golf might stop him. He tried to. Let me tell you something, man. But when you got a good to great team around you, whoo! Hey, LaDonna Deckard, Freddie, you right. Dak Prescott up under Andy Reid, Super Bowls, no doubt. From the late great George Allen, 53 men playing together can't lose. Facts. Let's hear Micah Parsons' last statement. We're getting ready to close out. Let's hear his statement.
Right now, I'm juiced up, so I'm probably cool, but I might be in a boot tomorrow.
Hey, Micah, how demoralizing was it when you got the fumble on the 6 and you weren't able to punch it in and take the lead and settle for a field goal and made it 7-6?
Hey, like I said, be the light. You can't let it get to you. Understand that, our quarterback's out. Things ain't always going to be how you expect it. And you kind of just got to be the light, and I just sideline, bringing the guys back up. It's all right. We got to do our job. We just got to get the ball back. So, it's one of them years where, like I said, it's challenging, but we got to be the light for everybody.
Where were you when you heard the news about Dak? What was your reaction? And with him out, do you have to be more of a leader on game day?
Yeah, for sure. I think this team needs a heart, a soul. Obviously missing Dak and his energy, the things that he brings to this game. As I try to do that for our defense, I got to do it for the offensive guys too, and play harder and do everything I can to build this team back up.
Now, do y'all see why Dak Prescott was on the sideline? This is why Dak Prescott was on the sideline. Dak ain't giving up leadership to this team to Micah Parsons. He's not going to do it. And I think the worst thing this team can have is Micah Parsons to get the leadership of this team. It's the worst thing that could happen. And I think Micah Parsons is a good kid. He's going to learn. He's going to learn. He's going to get better. He's going to learn. At least I hope he does. He'll mature. I think he says some good things. I think sometimes the Bible tells us a fool tells his whole heart. Sometimes you got to be smart. You got to be slow to speak and quick to listen. You got to know the room you're in. You got to have emotional intelligence. You got to understand what this guy's asking right here, y'all, if you're not paying attention. This guy right here, this reporter, y'all, he's trying to see, because I think he's keying in on some things that Micah Parsons has kind of said in the beginning. So he's keying in on, he's trying to go for the kill. He wants to see what Micah Parsons says when he asks him, what was your reaction to Dak Prescott getting hurt? Isn't that a strange question? Strange. What would your reaction be to your starting quarterback getting hurt? I mean, that's like somebody asking you, hey, your brother got in a car wreck. What do you think about it? What do you think I think about it? I'm hurt. I'm crushed. I'm whatever the case may be. This is what these guys do. They're doing their job, but they're looking for something to say. Micah Parsons didn't seem too unhappy that Dak Prescott was hurt. They're looking for that. They're looking for that. And so Micah Parsons right here, see, he thinks he's saying the right thing here.
Obviously devastating, anytime you lose your starting quarterback that, you kind of banking on, it hurts everybody.
And just as you're coming back, he's going out.
Yeah, just as I'm coming back.
Mike's on the final year of his.
And see, Micah Parsons, this is why you got to be smart when you're answering people's questions. Micah processed that one because that's what they're listening for. They want to hear, how does he feel about Dak Prescott? And so Micah says, devastated. There you go. Because anything other than that, it's going to be headlines. Now, this is the question that we're going to get to right here.
Yeah, just as I'm coming back.
Now, I don't know who this lady is. I don't know who this lady is right here. And I could be totally wrong. But this lady sounds strangely familiar, like the same lady who asked Jerry Jones, now that this team don't have Dak Prescott, and, what do you think about this team without Dak Prescott? I mean, this lady be asking some questions right here that could literally get a whole team into the fight if you answer it wrong. This is the question that's got everybody tripping.
Yeah, just as I'm coming back.
Mike's on the final year of his contract, so outside there's, of course, going to be questions. What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are worried about whether McCarthy will be your coach next year?
That's above my pay grade about if Mike is coaching again next year.
Now, we're going to go back to this, but I'm going to tell you what people did in the media. People in the media, I noticed something. They left this part off right here. This is the part they left off. And so they're going to pick it up from after this part. And so what he says after this, it sounds strange if you don't hear this part right here. But even with this part right here, this is the part where we're going to spend the rest of our time on, and then we're going to get out of here. But I'm going to play it again. Listen to what he says.
What's the sentiment inside the locker room, and what do you tell people who are worried about whether McCarthy will be your coach?
That statement right there is so loaded. When he said it's above his pay grade with Mike McCarthy, perfect answer. Now, I love what the reporter is doing. She's starting trouble, but she's actually asking a very powerful question because it goes exactly to what I was saying in the beginning. I think the Dallas Cowboys are damaging this team by allowing Mike McCarthy to still be the head coach. Now, someone like a Micah Parsons, he's already clued us in, Nisi. You've already said it. Some of us are already saying it. Micah Parsons has actually already been clued in on the plan. That's why he says, I like the direction we're going in. Well, can you clue us in on the direction? Because what everyone else is looking at is that this team is on the way down. No one else is saying that this team, no one in the public, no one in the media, none of the fan base. I mean, you're just hearing cryptic things like this. I like the direction we're going in. CeeDee Lamb, very lackadaisical. Even Dak Prescott saying little things like, I think this is what Jerry's plan is, and it's dead on. Other little things that we're watching, strange, all of these crazy injuries going on. I know there's some conspiracy theorists out there. So, I mean, all of this stuff that's happening this season is strange. It's X-Files like. And the only thing that's going to make any of this make sense to me, y'all tell me what y'all think, but the only thing that's going to make this make sense to me is the Dallas Cowboys get in the top 8 in the draft. Top 8. The Dallas Cowboys are actually in danger of being getting the number 1 draft pick. I think what's going to hurt them, though, is the tiebreakers. It's insane when you're saying the tiebreakers as in the teams that are going to be with 3 wins are going to be so bad and they've all been getting beat by all the same teams that we're going to boil it down to if all of those teams only have 3 losses, then we're going to boil it down to the tiebreaker of who got beat the worst, who got beat by who. This is crazy when you think about it. But it's the tiebreakers that are really going to affect also where the Cowboys land in the draft. But what I'm saying to say all of that, the only thing that's going to make this make sense is they bring in a top flight coach. They do well in the draft, wide receiver, running back, tight end, linebacker, D-line, safety. We do need a cornerback, but Travis Hunter will take care of that. And you can let him go both ways sometimes. But also, Jerry's going to have to play in free agency. And I think that's the only way he's going to get a coach in here. I don't think there's no coach, and that's why I don't want Kellen Moore. I don't want Kellen Moore. He'll be another yes man for Jerry. I don't want Kellen Moore. We need a coach who's going to basically come in here and say, I'm not coming in here unless you do A, B, C, and D. And you need a coach with enough cachet to come in here and say that. Kellen Moore, he'll just be happy to be back in Dallas. He'll just be happy to be the head coach. He'll be a head coach, his first job. I don't want that guy. I don't want that guy. I want that guy like a Ben Johnson. I want that guy like a Bill Belichick. I want that guy who says, nah, bruh, you're not finna do me like that. You're not about to do me like that. I'm going to come up in here. There are some promises. There are some promises that have to be met, and I want them things on paper. I want them on paper. And if you don't do it, this is how much you're going to pay me for not doing it. You got to have that, because if you don't have that, it don't make sense. It don't make sense. You do not want a Kellen Moore in here. He'll just be a yes man. You definitely don't want Mike McCarthy re-signed. We already know he's a yes man. It matters. It's going to matter who you bring in here. But Micah Parsons, The part that is ringing in everyone's head, I think the first part makes sense. He doesn't get to hire and fire the coach. He doesn't. That's above his pay grade. When he says he feels sorry for Zach Martin, and guys, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the other person when he says guys who are on their way out. Because I'm like, I can't think of anybody that has been on the team. Oh, wait, DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence has been on the team a long time. So I'm assuming he's probably talking about DeMarcus Lawrence and Zach Martin, because I really don't know of anyone who's been here like the Dak Prescott's been here that long. So he's obviously saying he's got so much respect for Zach Martin that he wish that Zach Martin could get that trophy. But I think the part where he made the mistake, to say that these guys have worked harder, way harder, put in more work than Mike McCarthy ever has. Wow. That's crazy talk right there. You want to talk about throwing somebody under the bus? Man, that's crazy talk. That is absolute crazy talk. And what really got my spidey senses tingling on this is that Jesse Holley brought this up too. Y'all might not remember that when Mike McCarthy was on his way out of Green Bay, there was some crazy stuff going on about Mike McCarthy. Does anybody remember the stuff they were saying about Mike McCarthy? They were literally saying stuff like Mike McCarthy was skipping meetings, getting massages. I mean, they were literally saying some of the most outlandish stuff about Mike McCarthy. Now, let's just break that down into goo goo gaga. They were basically saying towards the end, when Mike saw the end was near, they were basically talking like Mike McCarthy gave up on the team. And so he kind of started doing other things for himself rather than what was best for the team. And I find it to be strange because that's a very, very strange statement to make. He has put in more work. It's one thing to say he's been here. Well, Zach Martin's been here for a long time. Okay, I get that part. But when you say he's put in more work, do y'all know the life of an NFL head coach? Their wives have to be really patient. Their wives have to be very patient, just like my wife, trying to build this community. And so you spend a lot of time doing videos, being online, stuff like that. But when you understand what you're trying to do, it won't always be like that. But when you're seeing what you're trying to do, it requires a wife to be very patient. Do we not realize how patient an NFL head coach's wife and children have to be? Head coaches be the first ones in the building, last one out a lot of times. Their whole life is football, especially during the season. They're watching film. They're watching offense. They're watching defense. They're looking at play sheets. They're looking at all kinds of analytics and data. And it's just everything is coming toward them. NFL head coaches, they put in some work. He said that Zach Martin has worked harder than Mike McCarthy ever has. Sometimes people say, well, I don't think they meant that how it was said or how you took it, but sometimes you just have to say a person said what they said. And there's no way to fix it. Now, I'm sure he's going to come back And he's probably going to say, this is what I meant. He'll probably use it for his podcast, I'm assuming. But, gosh, that's crazy. And Micah Parsons, I don't know what you're watching, bro. I don't know what you're watching. I don't think there's a team in the NFL. If you bring Mike McCarthy in to be your head coach and play caller, you're trying to destroy your team. You don't want to win. I'm just being 100 with you. You couldn't want to win if you're bringing in Mike McCarthy. You couldn't. Because we can tell me anything we want to about Jerry, but this man is doing the same thing that got him fired in Green Bay. It's just bottom line. It's bottom line. Yes, 70s fans, it's strange they was always comparing Dak Prescott to Carson Wentz, and now one of them's a backup and one of them's a $231 million guaranteed man. Esquire, 1995, what's going on? Keep trying to tell folks it doesn't require a great quarterback to win Super Bowls. And you don't pay quarterbacks because they're great. I mean, if you get a generational talent like a Patrick Mahomes, okay, that's all great. You sign him and you pay him. Don't let people fool you. Patrick Mahomes is getting paid well. He signed a 10-year, $500 million deal. Stop acting like Patrick Mahomes is not getting paid. And every single time, you got to understand, Kansas City's GM is genius. And every single time other quarterbacks, their pay go up, they quietly go in to Patrick Mahomes' contract and they figure out a way to pay him a little bit more money. I mean, that GM for them is actually genius. To actually get a 10-year, $500 million deal, you're only talking about $50 million a year. And if you can figure out ways to finagle that contract to where you can kick money down the road, increase it here and there, turn some of it into a signing bonus, give him a little bit more money up front, give him a little bit more money on the backside, it's absolute genius. I don't know why everybody's not following suit with what he did. It's genius. But I know some people say they don't want their quarterback for 10 years. Well, Dallas is done. Because the Dallas Cowboys are going to have Dak Prescott way beyond 10 years. Way beyond. Dak Prescott, when he leave here, will be in his 12th year. But they also have put they're starting to put more and more players around Patrick Mahomes. Yep, there's a statue outside of Lincoln. Yep. I thought it was. I had no idea Wentz is a backup. Yep, Kansas City Chiefs. Yep. I'm going to have to watch the playback because I missed most of the convo and I wanted to hear your take. Yep, he's a backup. Micah Parsons play linebacker. Yep. With a great defense, Eli was average. Everybody argues it. And matter of fact, that's why Tom Brady was so hurt for so long. I bet you if Tom Brady would have lost to Peyton Manning, he'd have shook his hand, hugged him, conversation, everything. Do you know how much it must have hurt Tom Brady? Of all the great quarterbacks he faced, he got beat by Nick Foles and Eli Manning. But he didn't get beat by them. They had better teams. Even the coaching was better in those games. It's hard to beat a team when you get out coached. It's hard to beat a team when you get out coached. It's hard to beat a team when the whole team is playing. As one of the guys on here keeps saying, man, you get 53 men all working together, they can't lose. They just can't lose. Parsons wants out of Dallas. I think he does too. I think he does too. First time we got Parsons, he went to a Philly game in a 76ers game. He doesn't like to be a Cowboy. I think he does want to be out of Dallas. He'll never admit it. I would never deny Micah's talent, but the guy's just unlikable. I wouldn't have him on my team. I would have traded him so fast, it would have been a new Herschel Walker trade. I'd have set this whole league on fire. I'd have changed the whole draft. Guess who would have been the number one draft pick this year? If I'm not number one, I'm in the top 5. I might even still get in there because I'm probably going to get 2 number 1s, maybe even 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s. I'm probably going to get that for Micah Parsons. Man, I'll trade a number 1 and a number 2. Let me get number 1 this year. Let me get Travis Hunter. Boy, what you could have did with that right there. You could have parlayed that into so many picks. So many picks. Yep, Micah's all over the place. He going to have to explain himself on that because the last comment didn't make sense to me. And some people are saying he didn't mean it the way he said it. How else can he mean it? When you say that he's put in more work than a coach, coaches are putting in twice as much time on the field than a player. They are. They are. I mean, minus some of these guys like the Dak Prescotts of the world. First one in the building, last one out, like the Patrick Mahomes, first one in, first one out. Lamar Jackson's, those guys. But, man, you're talking about a lineman. That's crazy. Eli Manning had a lights-out defense, no doubt. No doubt. I'm just telling you, people don't know football. They're just emotional. I think we could have been better with Urban Meyer, but I'm sure Jerry didn't want him. Maybe Jerry felt he wouldn't listen to him. Oh, no. Boy, Urban Meyer and Jerry Jones would have been at it all day long. Micah Parsons, I found one of 220 NFL draft for number 12 pick overall. They could have really got something, I believe, for Micah Parsons, but too late now. Okay, Esquire, I'm thinking, are you talking about the lady I'm talking about in the interview? I mean, this lady be asking some crazy questions, man. She be asking them questions that'll get a team into it. Tom Brady had no worse than an 8th-ranked defense. No one ever talk about that 70s. It was all Tom Brady, even though it took a defense for him to come back against the Atlanta Falcons. It took an incredible play from that guy, Malcolm Butler in the Seattle Seahawks game. Had they handed that ball to Marshawn Lynch, that Super Bowl in Seattle, Tom Brady don't get that one either. Tom Brady don't get that one either. Man, to hear the story of the Seattle Seahawks, Marshawn Lynch said when he said when the coach ran that play, he just ran over. He said he just ran in his face and just screamed, a lot of those players said they told him. They said, you better not ever do that again. I mean, there were people who were really, really mad about that play. But see, the history books, when you just look at the headlines, you know the only thing it says? 7 Super Bowls. Now, you got to read the liner notes if you want to know that Malcolm Butler made an insane interception. But that's not what most people read. Tom Brady won 7 Super Bowls. That's it. Just like last year. Everybody says Patrick Mahomes is going to surpass Tom Brady. Did anybody look at that Super Bowl last year? That wasn't Patrick Mahomes who won that Super Bowl. I mean, he made a throw at the end. But, boy, I'm going to tell you something. Pacheco, man, Pacheco need to be checked out. That dude run like somebody did something to his mom or something. Pacheco was crazy when he running out of that backfield, man. I wish we had a running back that ran angry like that dude. That dude, Pacheco, is on another level when it comes to running the ball, man. We know the coach will be old. Everybody keeps saying that. They say it's going to be an old coach. Better hope he doesn't hire Bill because he will play linebacker without a raise. Man, the problem for me is going to be Jerry. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here on this. It's 8:48. I'm going to just do this right here because I keep putting it off. I think this is the only portion we need to play. I'm going to let us hear this thing from the former defensive end of the Dallas Cowboys. Doggone it. I remember this guy. I just keeps forgetting his name. David Irving. This video right here is very telling. A lot of people have been talking about this video. Let's play this.
Peace out. But they came back around and said, okay, we're going to go ahead and like make the right move because Jerry wasn't having it. More of a Stephen Jones doing that type of thing.
First off, Stephen Jones is I don't like Stephen Jones. He's the problem. Everyone talk about Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Look under.
Yeah, my boy Mark Holmes called him Catboy.
You know, look, it ain't Jerry. It ain't Jerry.
It ain't Jerry.
However, I never got to do any. It's funny. It's funny you bring that up. The only negotiations I've ever tried to do with the Cowboys were off the books about something that I'm not allowed. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about right now. Mm-hmm. it's currently probably going on right now. So that'll come to light. Everyone thinks I left the Cowboys for just cannabis. Oh no. I've seen the dark side, guys. I know where the bodies are buried. And I kept my mouth shut. You ain't see me blasting on this and that. I might have put some shit up and put it down, but it's a lot of deep stuff, guys. You fucked up bringing me on the show. You know that, right? Hey, it's a reason I've been silenced. Ooh. It's a reason Stephen A. Smith was paid not to fuck with me and talk against me, my guy. It's a reason Snoop was paid to talk against me.
Make sure you go check that out on your own. But I think David Irving said something powerful right there. David Irving said, Stephen Jones is the problem. My uncle has told me this for years. Stephen Jones is the problem. And you hear quite a few people whispering this stuff out loud. And I don't find it strange that all of a sudden Stephen Jones has kind of started playing the back. He's still doing the radio show, but he's really playing the back seat right now. And it makes me wonder if we're getting ready for Jerry Jones to step aside and maybe they're giving Jerry Jones his farewell tour or something to that effect. Something's going on with the Cowboys with this thing with Stephen Jones, y'all. I'm telling you. It's very, very weird. Very weird. But at the same time, what isn't weird with the Dallas Cowboys right now? Everything about the Dallas Cowboys right now is absolutely weird. Nobody can put their finger on what's going on with the Cowboys. We're just hoping right now that we're going to be able to trust them to go in the draft and do the right thing. All right. Everybody, please go hit that like button. I should have said that in the middle. But everybody who's here, please go hit that like button so we can continue to push this through the algorithm, so we can continue to get people to come and be a part of the community. And we can continue to encourage each other as we talk about these Dallas Cowboys. Because I'm sorry, if you're going to be a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, you better find some folk that can talk real and also be encouraging. Because if not, you're going to pull your hair out. This team has to be studied. They're doing so much crazy stuff right now, man. Everybody just needs to just settle down. Lower your expectations. We know who our owner is. We know who our owner is. So we just gonna have to understand who he is, y'all. And even if we don't support him, I don't know how you do it, but we still got to support the team. So I'm still cheering for the team. I'm cheering for him in a weird way, but I'm still cheering for the team, hoping they make the right moves, and hoping that we will see and understand everything that's going on the beginning of next season. If that makes sense. I don't even know if it makes sense. But hey, Cowboys for life, right? As we're talking about sports. Cowboys for life. So again, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see y'all tomorrow if the Lord is willing. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Peace.